This feels like a bad group of people to discuss driving etiquette with, because I am certain, I don't even have to check the comments to know, that a whole lot of people probably objected yesterday to Zaz and Chris Cody being so cavalier about the fact of, yeah, I have so many carbs at lunch every day that I'm falling asleep when I drive home, and my manslaughter vehicle is careening through the streets of Miami that are crowded at 60 miles an hour and I can't stay awake. The reason I bring all of this up is because I was not aware until Kyle Shanahan spoke to some local reporters yesterday that you could get into an accident at 20 miles an hour that would cause 40 stitches in your face, break your nose, break your ribs, break your hand, and cause a concussion so severe that you couldn't work for weeks doing your job. I was not aware that that could happen at 20 miles an hour. Were you guys?
See, my main thought yesterday when it came to the Shanahan stuff was, I don't understand what's going on here. Like, I don't understand what's being hidden. It seems like a weird story. Now I think it's weird. I don't understand. It doesn't seem possible to go 20 miles an hour and to have that type of damage.
Yeah, I didn't know that either, and I doubt it, frankly. I mean, I'm skeptical here.
Well, he said a number of different things in the details. One of them was he was not in his phone. That would be a crime. That would make him liable. That would be problematic criminally if he's admitting that. So what he has said is that he was fishing around for his phone, that he dropped it and was fishing around for his phone, which I think is the same thing Tiger Woods said.
Mm-hmm.
And
pretty handy excuse.
Well, it is a pretty handy excuse, and yet I'm telling you right now, that this is the most dangerous time in the history of driving that there has been to drive, because I see on the highway the number of people who are texting while driving at 65 miles an hour. So we are all driving around while addicted to our phones in a way that has to be more dangerous, has to be empirically more dangerous than it's ever been.
I don't know, man. The Great Gatsby time, everyone's getting sloshed and then getting behind a car.
You think so?
Yeah, they were driving around.
You think so before Prohibition?
During.
Dude, up until like the 80s.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, people had to be getting drunker before Prohibition than during Prohibition. When it was legal to drink, it had to be. What do you guys mean? No,
Dan.
You guys don't think that it was. So this is a good question. If I have my timelines right between the Great Depression and Prohibition, so what causes drinking? You're broke and you're suffering and you're fearful.
Your timelines are mixed up. The Prohibition came first.
Way before.
And then the Great Depression happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago that DUI was not against the law.
What?
Like my brother or my Uncle Buddy used to drive from Miami to Hollywood to visit us, and he literally would have a six-pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon in the car.
It's not Uncle Dick.
For the
Jeez,
trip.
scared
No,
me.
Uncle Buddy.
And this was not against the law?
No, not then.
That makes so much more sense, because right now I'm in the middle of a rewatch of Mad Men, and dudes are drunk driving every episode.
That's it was just like a Tuesday, man. Like, hey, what'd you do at work today? Oh, just had
one on.
Yeah, and then like, all right, time to go home, see the missus, get in the car, drunk, drive, get there, and what does she have waiting for you?
Dinner.
Another drink.
Vas a dar toda la vuelta así. Lo abrimos aquí.
Time for the fastest moving sport. We're so damn excited to get back to the battle court. Step on the concha. Your Cessna launches a chick-chack. And the Cyclones gear up for the attack. Highlight is back, Jack. When the Warriors are running through, pick up the phone and call Manu. When the Renegades are moving in, the Cyclones will step up and win. When the Fronton is getting packed, that's how you know that Highlight is back, Jack. Let me hear you say, Highlight is back, Jack. The Lotus flying through the air.
I genuinely like this sport.
So we better see you there when they remaste. Rebote like a maniac. It You say this game's the best, I'll say it's a gag. Highlight is back, Jack.
For my rotator cuff, so please be gentle.
Highlight is back, Jack. Highlight is back. Highlight is back, Jack.
I begin the show indignantly because I was not allowed to watch our new highlight intro because Roy Bellamy was lecturing me, sermonizing, condescending about how much drinking people were doing in speakeasies. Like I was just getting I got a whole sermon from Roy Bellamy on how little I know about drinking during the days of Prohibition.
You think that just because it was illegal to drink that people weren't drinking?
I did not think that. I think they were drinking more when it was legal. I don't believe that when it became forbidden, it became easier to get drink. But let me cue people in on what we were talking about during the Shadow Show, because I've got an assortment of irresponsible, rude, and unethical drivers around me. I think it's the crew. I think everybody here is a discourteous driver. Zaz chief among them. Zaz will not give anybody the hand wave when they let him in traffic.
Whatever.
Okay, so
That's crazy.
That's embarrassing.
okay, but he's sitting here shaking.
Survival of the fittest out there.
Un-American.
He's shaking his head, and he's not the worst of it. Like Zaz and Chris Cody fall asleep. Tony's not great at any of this stuff. You do fall asleep.
It's sleepy.
You get sleepy, and one of these days you're going to fall asleep because you don't have good governance over, yourselves.
Debatable.
The thing, though, that started this conversation, okay, and I don't know how everyone in our audience is absorbing the Kyle Shanahan stuff. When coaches get in trouble, we like to sniff around. When it smells like cover-up or conspiracy, we do so more. A head coach injuring himself in an accident where he gets 40 stitches, breaks his ribs, breaks his nose, and breaks his hand, and this is the key part, can't do his job right now because he's got a concussion, says that he was going 20 miles an hour, says that the accident was his fault now, that the report is wrong, which as soon as I see that, I'm like, okay, what did the police do here? Like, so what happened here? Because in the 11 or 13 days of silence since the accident, plenty of people wondered, well, what else is here? Now he's explained it, and to me it feels like there are more questions than there were before this started, because he's volunteering, hey, this is my fault. Volunteering that, why? You didn't volunteer that from the beginning. You're volunteering it now. Why are you volunteering that now? What are you afraid we're going to find out in that report, or what should have been that report, that you're saying, no, my bad, but 13 days later? The other place I want to tie it to, though, as athletes like Michael Strahan tell you what the job of an interviewer is, because Michael Strahan is now in the space where he is a dominant media power, Chris Sims is not a journalist, but more and more the athletes are the information guys and kind of standing in for the journalists. So Chris Sims is friends with Kyle Shanahan. They've both got tattoos of each other's initials, I believe. Can you guys look that up for me? Is there any photo evidence of this? Because I don't even think of Chris Sims as a tattoo guy. Never mind, I'm going to put Kyle Shanahan's initials on me. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Did you think of Chris Sims as a tattoo guy?
What would make you think, hey, that's a tattoo guy?
I don't think so, but when I heard that he had Kyle Shanahan's initials on him, that seems to be a conflict in the reporting of news. I'm gonna get way out there and say that when it comes to information on Kyle Shanahan, Chris Sims has it, but he's not obligated to give it out, correct? Because he's not a journalist and because he's not that kind of information guy, and the kind of information guy that he is an exceptional one. His information is very good, but I'm not expecting him, and you're not expecting him, to be a journalist here, correct, Greg?
No, and if anything, he's betraying a friendship by saying something very private about Shanahan.
Well, he did say something 11 days later, which is that Kyle Shanahan almost lost his eye from the airbag, that the pictures are much bad. They're much worse than you would imagine, that when he saw his face, he was alarmed.
When you guys get information from a friend, not like a source or someone that you've worked with, but like, this is my friend, and then you reveal it publicly, don't you usually think that there was a conversation, hey, is it okay if I say this out loud?
Usually there is, but in this particular case, Chris Sims didn't say very much, and he didn't say any of it until it was already reported. So what he said was he almost lost his right eye and it was bad. But the conversation that I want to have, okay? You guys know I spent a lot of time here talking about the way we cover these things, and there is no obligation in sports to cover this stuff like journalists. ESPN made that so, but there's not actually that responsibility. We can leave these people alone. We can cover them the way we did many years ago when none of this stuff was on limits. It was all off limits. And I think the athletes and the power brokers would prefer it that way. The power always prefers that you can't actually shame them with the truth. But now that we're in an age where the truth doesn't actually shame, and you realize that the power of the press isn't much of a power if when we tell the truth, it doesn't cause shame. If you can just get around it, because I'll just deny it. I'll say I was driving 20 miles an hour. I will say that it's my fault now, the accident is my fault, and I'll make it look like accountability when, no, you were kind of forced out into the light on this one, weren't you? And you didn't want to get out in the light when your face looked a lot worse.
Yeah, but we don't know how much shame is merited yet, right? We don't know the extent of guilt on Shanahan, if there is any guilt. And he buys a lot of goodwill by coming off as honest, even 2 weeks late, and saying it was my fault.
But was he, is my question. I don't know what happened here either, but it doesn't sound right to me. 20 miles an hour, you were fishing for your phone, you never hit the brakes, and now you have the kinds of injuries that you almost lost your eye. I just didn't know it was possible at 20 miles an hour to be so oblivious. If you were not passed out at the wheel, if you're driving your car, I didn't think that it was possible at 20 miles an hour to be so oblivious that you never hit your brakes and you're getting an airbag in the face that you weren't expecting in any way. I didn't think that could happen at 20 miles an hour.
Dan, you don't have to be going that fast for your airbags to deploy. It's all about the car sensing the collision and then the rapid stop. And more people get injured probably off of airbags than they do off of car accidents themselves.
Yeah.
Is that statistically right? That can't be statistically right.
Yeah.
More people get injured from the airbag. So wait a minute. If Kyle Shanahan had said this, does this buy him anything in terms of diluting your suspicion? Hey, the airbag did this. I hit the brakes too hard at 20 miles an hour and the airbag exploded in my face.
Well, apparently that is how he got the cut on his eye, is from, we all have that garage clicker on the visor in our car, right?
No, not anymore. Most people have that electronically.
I still do.
I still have one of those too, but that's only people over 40 who have that. Everyone
you're old.
Everyone else has a smart car.
I still have that, and that came flying off from the airbag and sliced his eye.
Well, and the airbag gave him the concussion. The airbag probably gave him the broken ribs as well. It punches you. It hits you because it's trying to stop you from moving forward. And it's not just hitting your brakes hard. It is the collision with the vehicle in front of him, which we know that happened. No, what makes it suspicious isn't any of the details, Dan. There's no detail that's going to make it suspicious. What makes it suspicious is, why was this a secret? Why was this hidden? It's a fender bender. His airbag's deployed. He got hit. He's got all messed up. If that happened yesterday and we found out the news today, we're like, oh, that sucks. But the fact that it was a secret is what makes it suspicious.
And not only that, but what is the instant imperative that makes you go fish for a phone you've just dropped? You can't wait 10 seconds. You can't wait until the next stop sign. You can't wait until you park. That's happened to me. You know, sometimes the phone winds up near the brake pedal.
I hate that when it's like I put my phone sometimes between my legs, and then you hit the brakes, and all of a sudden your phone's by your feet, and you're like,
yeah, but you don't have to immediately take your eye off the road and go fishing for your phone. A lot of this smells foul. I'm sorry, Kyle Shanahan. A lot of this smells foul.
You're not sorry, and you just took one of the easiest stances that have ever happened. They wouldn't call them accidents if they happened on purpose. Like, the way that happens as an accident very often is because there are a lot of people in our audience who want to get that phone right then and there. They're detail-oriented. They're obsessive-compulsive. They're anal. And you're right. You're correct. You need to wait and not put people in peril, but there are some people that can't abide the anxiety of the fact that their phone is now over there and not in their hands.
I do it out of the fear that my phone's gonna like get locked in with like the pedals and stuff.
That's happened to me before. The phone slid under the pedal. I'm trying to brake. The phone is stopping. I can't stop. We're out of control. Get out of the way. I've got a phone on the floor.
Tony, I'm looking at you while we're talking about all this driving thing, and what I see is somebody who does bad shit on the road.
That's you know what? That's not right. That's not right. Bad shit on the road is a little too far, Dan.
Give me what you think is the worst thing that you do that is morally on the line when you drive, because I don't believe you're an innocent here.
I'm not innocent. I wouldn't say I'm innocent.
I believe you drive on moral lines, and like Zaz, you're capable of some of that stuff of I will not wave if you let me in.
You've been on 95
I'm
South.
a
It's Mad
pointer.
Max out there, all right?
No, I'm a pointer. It's like when you get an assist, you point back at the guy that gave you the assist. That's my rule. But there's also rules to the road, Dan. And what I like to do on the 836, if I'm driving down the Dolphin, there's a specific exit if you're going towards the Lone Depot Park, that's 17th Street on the 836. And the problem is there's two turning lanes that are by itself, and then there's the regular flow of traffic. All the way to the left lane, they've kind of closed that off, so the left lane and the middle lane have to merge into one lane.
Oh, the merge.
That one takes forever. So what I do is I cruise all the way to the right-hand side, like if I'm going to get off on the exit.
Good move.
And what I do is I just troll. I'm just looking. I'm waiting for the guy to skip somebody else. So there's a guy next to me who's always going to skip the line. What I do is I skip him.
Yes.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's
The moral conundrum,
let's
Dan,
pause-
he's got to let me in.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, he does, Greg. He has a moral obligation to let me in because he skipped the line. I get to skip him.
No, because so many people like to skip but don't like to be skipped. That's normal. That's
That's a
human
bad
nature.
person. That's a bad
That's
person.
human nature, though.
Is it?
Yeah. Like I don't do that. Christopher does that, and it's a bad thing. You're a skipper. You're a skipper.
My dad does wait in that line. Like
I
a sheep.
wait in.
Oh, you're a sheep.
My dad's a
No.
sheep. He skits
You
and
wait
go
in the
ahead.
long line?
I wait in the long line.
Let me explain to people who don't know where it is that Tony's doing this, okay? Miami is a biblical clusterfuck. You cannot put what should be 6 or 7 lanes near the stadium. Let's make it 2 lanes here and expect the respectable people of Miami to be moral people about traffic. Of course, they're going to fly off to the right, an exit lane, and then cut back into the left. And all those suckers like Greg who don't realize that they're surrounded in Miami by corrupt, criminal people who have no ethics. What ends up happening is the suckers, it shouldn't be 2 lanes. It should be 7 lanes there. That's an impossibly congested part of road, and it's always traffic, whether it's 2 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning. It's crazy.
Now I know why Greg's always late.
I'm a rule follower. I see a rule, I follow it. You know, I'm traveling all around following a rule. But here's the thing. Nobody skips in front of me, okay, because I'm kissing the bumper ahead of me. Nobody skips in front of Greg
I'd like
Cody
to-
unless he
I don't know about that,
allows
Greg.
it.
I don't know
Unless
about
he
that, Greg.
permits it. Oh, yeah. Yes. I tailgate.
Do you ever look at your phone in the car?
Not when I'm driving.
Not when you're
My
driving?
wife does.
I realized when he blamed
My
his
wife does.
Yes.
Listen to me. What's happening right here? It's amazing. He blames his wife and he blames you. And what I just saw is he's absolutely someone who's an asshole on the road. He is someone who will skip and then not let you skip. And he says his son is that, but he's that. He learned it from you, Dad. He learned it from you.
Okay, I don't allow skippers in front of me. That's a
all.
harsh reality. It is a harsh reality.
You said that already.
I know.
You're agreeing with yourself.
Right. I'm indicating that what I just said is verified.
Now, I have a little of this where the angriest I will get is on the road for some reason, but my dad, worse than me, road rage.
Oh, I've seen it. Yes, your father. In fact, I've seen him nowhere angrier than on the road. He's impatient, and he's absolutely a skipper who does not let others skip. But somehow, you guys noticed he did that, right? He said you were that, and he's not, but he was concealed. He's trying. That was some real virtue signaling. You blamed your son while claiming you're not a skipper when you're absolutely a skipper, and you're a skipper who then does not wish to be skipped. You say it's human nature because you're the human.
I've seen him skip. I have witnessed it.
I've skipped you.
I don't skip.
Like we
I
take
know.
the same way to work. I see my dad in line. I'm like, oh, this is a good guy. I'm getting in right here.
Right.
Easy.
It's like Skipper Chuck over here.
But this reminded me of in New York. That's just.
All right, look up Skipper Chuck so people know. Wait till you hear how old this reference is. Play the Back in My Day music. For locals, I wish that 70-year-olds were watching this on YouTube. They're not. But if they did, this is the Greg Cody wheelhouse right here. Skipper Chuck on television reading the Sunday cartoons to a boy, Chris Cody, at the advent of television.
Black and white. And as I recall, yeah, that's it. I was going to describe the Navy cap he used to wear, Skipper Chuck. Part of my childhood, quite frankly.
Skipper Chuck, a popular South Florida children's television program, aired on TVJ from, get this, 1957 to 79.
Yeah.
Hosted by Chuck Zink as the character Skipper Chuck.
Chuck Zink. I'd forgotten the Zink name. Skipper Chuck. Yeah. He was in Captain Kangaroo was a contemporary of Skipper Chuck. Captain Kangaroo was another guy I used to watch when I was a kid. You know, black and white TV. It was a beautiful thing. It really was. Skipper Chuck, God bless you. Long dead, I would guess, Zink. But he was great. A real legend. South Florida legend.
Greg, in a million years, if someone had told me, hey, I listened to Le Batard today, and Greg Cody made such an old reference when he heard the word skipper, I would have bet my mortgage and 6 months' salary. Skipper from Gilligan's Island. There's no way he went older than Skipper from Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good callback by you. Gilligan's Island.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I do believe.
Gilligan's Island, I think, was one of the first sitcoms to go from black and white to color, like from one season to the next. Just like The Wizard of Oz was the first movie, where the first half of the movie's in black and white, and then the second half is in Technicolor. It blew the mind of everybody in the theater. Imagine seeing that at the first time. You've known nothing but black and white movies, and you're halfway through The Wizard of Oz, and all of a sudden everything is in majestic Technicolor. Wow, what a mind blower. Best minute in the history of cinema, quite frankly.
Greg, famously, Gilligan's Island, the skipper, they're on a 3-hour tour, yeah?
Yeah.
So it means they got to go about a
3-hour tour.
A 3-hour tour. How'd they get lost and nobody can find them if they're really only going like an hour because they got to take an hour back? Where could they have gone? They got lost and nobody could find them.
No cell phones back then. You can't call and say, hey, we're on a stranded island. You know, Shanahan's looking for his cell phone. These people had no cell phones to look for. They're waving. They're making blankets into banners so that they can wave. They're taking coconuts and writing "Save Me" in the sand, hoping that a small plane goes overhead. That was primitive, man. Right? What are you gonna do? You're stranded on a deserted island in 1962. What are you gonna do? You're gonna spell something with palm fronds, right? Because the coconuts are all gone. You've split them open. You've eaten the meat, coconut meat, which is tough to get out of the shell, by the way. That's why more people don't eat coconut meat. You can't get it out of the shell.
Zaz, you know about that coconut meat?
He's right about that.
It sticks to the shell.
He's right. It's called coconut meat.
Yeah. Thank you.
I've
Spoon's not enough to get it out, and a knife is dangerous.
I've got a number of different questions, okay? Gilligan's Island, top 10 television theme song of all time?
I don't care about Gilligan's Island.
Put it on the poll. Way to go, yes, and. At Le
Hater.
Batard Show, top 10 television theme song of all time. Gilligan's Island, yes or no?
I'm going to say Outside Looking In.
Wow.
Outside, you want me to do it? I'll do it. I'll do it.
You've got all 10? You feel like you've got all 10 right off the top of your head?
Not in order, but I can name 10.
Wow.
10 better than Gilligan's Island. You
Yes.
think you'll get consensus from everyone here in the room if you go 10? All right, go ahead.
These are all sitcoms?
You have dropped a sword in the middle of this show. You are defying everyone, and I believe you. I believe that you will find some Alan Thicke and some Quincy Jones, and you will amaze us.
All right, so again, not in order. So these are not the top 10. These are just 10 better than Gilligan's Island. Not number 10. Sanford and Son.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not number 9. Different Strokes.
So you went Quincy Jones and that's Alan Thicke, right? Yeah.
Not number 8. Facts of Life.
Also Alan Thicke.
Not number 7. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Did he do his own theme song for that? Is that
Yes. Produced by QD3, I believe. Yeah. Quincy's son. Not number 4. Miami Vice.
You missed number 5. There was a number 5.
I think that 6 was missing too.
There's no order.
There's no order.
6 and a 5.
Yeah, 6 could be coming up here.
All right,
Skipper
that's
Chuck.
fine. That's fine. 6. Skipper Chuck.
He skipped 2 numbers. You're a skipper. Not 6 and not 5. You're a skipper.
What? Like Skipper from Gilligan's Island, or the other Skipper that I don't remember?
You just skipped 2 spots.
You're a skipper.
You're a skipper. You are a skipper.
Well, they're not in order, so I can always go back.
Skipping it.
Is it number 5 right now?
Number 5 or number 6 or number 3, it doesn't matter.
The People's Court.
No. No.
Judge Joe Brown?
No. Put it on the poll is the People's Court.
Isn't that Judge Judy?
Just because you're snapping your fingers near your nipples.
He's working. That's working, though, Dan.
No, look. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Better theme song, People's Court or Gilligan's Island. But if I start singing Gilligan's Island by snapping my fingers near my nipples, I could jazz it up too.
Yeah.
No. I reject that premise. Your list is falling apart.
How's it falling apart? Wait, the People's Court everyone loves the People's Court.
I agree, but
the people are real. But the cases are real.
I'm not disputing the love of the People's Court. I'm saying you're underestimating the epic and seismic eternal echoing of Gilligan's Island.
Okay, you don't like People's Court? How about this? Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Saturday, what a day.
A 3-hour tour.
Hey, hold on, man. Are you telling me you think Gilligan's Island is better than Happy Days?
No, I'm not telling you that.
Okay, then. All right. So then we're in. Oh, here's one. Knight Rider.
I reject that. You've offended Gilligan's Island.
What? Knight Rider?
Yeah, I got it. An automated car, a smart car. I got it. You watch war games with your kids. You're stuck in the 80s and 90s.
Whoa, hey. Michael, we hadn't teased that one yet. Knight Rider is one of the coolest theme songs of all
I agree,
time.
but it's not Gilligan's Island, and I don't name the words. Name the words on the theme song. You got to have some words. It can't just be all instrumentals.
A shadowy figure.
It can't be all instrumentals. It can't have no song in it.
It can be wordless.
Yeah.
For example, the whistling in front of the Andy Griffith Show.
You know what? No, it can be. You're right. Hawaii 5-0 is in my top 5, and I don't think,
That
one's good.
Just sit right back and you hear a tale of a tiny fateful ship.
Oh, you guys want one? You want 80s for real?
You guys got me, man. You guys are gonna come up with a top 10 list. It's like you might be able to do it with just instrumentals.
Dan, have you ever heard of a show called Magnum P.I.? And then it switches. I
need to know from all of you if the theme song, I'm realizing now, because he's grabbing everything from the last century. Like there's nothing. You haven't. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is the closest thing to recent you're giving us in the last 30 years. Has the theme song on television died, or are you?
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
a lot of shows just go right into action. They're like, there's no real
That's true.
theme song.
So
anymore.
it's died? So wait a minute. Is there anything on your list from this century?
Hey, team.
So no. So 1987. So no.
You know about that B.A. Baracus?
Why?
With Gilligan, the skipper too, the millionaire and his wife, the movie star, the professor and Marianne here on Gilligan's Isle.
Oh man, such a big close.
Move them in, move them out, move them up, move them up, rawhide. Ride them in, rawhide.
Yeah.
1950s.
That's great. Rawhide. Are you kidding me?
When did this die and no one told me? What, you guys have not named anything in 30 years. Like that.
The
Here's one
Office
more.
theme song.
Here's one more. Oh, the way Glenn Miller played songs that made the hit parade.
All in the Family.
Guys like us, we had it made.
Those were the days. Who's gonna do-
You do what you want.
Days of dreams of mine were mine.
Wow.
I have never been more surprised in the entirety of my existence than Roy unleashing Edith from All in the Family singing voice in the perfect tone. It is the most surprised I've been, not on this show, in all my time living. Where have you been hiding her?
I've been practicing.
It's been waiting.
Every
It died? No one told me that it died?
I mean, it exists. Does Curb Your Enthusiasm count?
Yes.
Does
Oh, yeah.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia count?
But Curb Your Enthusiasm isn't the theme song. It's
Yeah, there's no
just
show intro.
But it's just the music that plays under the ridiculous throughout the show.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
No,
Guys,
it
that
plays
is-
at the beginning of every
Guys,
episode.
that's a theme song. It
At-
is.
At the beginning of every song, every show, bum bum bum. Now, it's not original. If that's what you're saying, it was not originally composed for the show.
I think it's just like a jingle.
No, it's not a jingle. It's a real piece of classical music. They used it because there was it didn't cost them any money.
No, but I mean for the show, I feel like it's just a jingle for the show. It's not a show intro.
It is. It plays in the intro of every episode. They don't have cold opens.
But it's not the same as all the examples you're just giving.
Yes, it is.
You think so?
Theme songs used to be so popular and so major part of a show
Yeah.
that they became hit records. Like the theme song to Welcome Back, Kotter was a big hit. You heard it all over the radio.
That's a good one, too.
Whoa! Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Who'd have thought they need you? Right here where they need you. Yeah, they tease them a lot because they got them on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. And then Mace comes.
John Sebastian, Lovin' Spoonful.
So no one told you life was gonna be this way. No?
You had so much confidence. You
Come on, that's a banger.
It's the clap that
not a
got you.
banger.
It is not a banger.
not a banger
and
at
that's
all.
why you were there
Put that
by
on the poll.
yourself.
That's a banger.
You'd see how Roy
horrible.
was joyous moments ago. Joyous. And he was happy. And then you came in here with your solo tap dance with the clapping by yourself, and everyone looked at you funny. You guys are still disrespecting Gilligan's Island.
How
Two
about
Americas, by the way.
dun 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 dun?
That's what I've been waiting for. Yes.
In the criminal justice system.
There are two sides. The police, who oppress minorities,
I don't remember that.
and the judicial part.
It's updated.
We could do
That
a new
hands
one.
out, that hands out sentences that are way too long for minor offenses.
We should.
These are their stories.
Those are
Bum, bum.
especially heinous.
I want to, since you guys mentioned Curb Your Enthusiasm, I wanted to play a clip for you of Adam Carolla talking to Jerry Seinfeld and really saying something I think that's pretty insulting to Seinfeld's face, but it's about Tom Brady and how Tom Brady should have retired. And here's Jerry Seinfeld's perspective.
Belichick had all that success with Brady, right?
Yes.
And then Brady goes off to Tampa and wins a Super Bowl.
Right.
And Belichick had to kind of go like, I kind of wish he'd just retire.
Yeah.
And you have all that success with Larry David, and then he goes on to do Curb,
which is fantastic.
And it's fantastic. But does that put you in a little Belichick situation?
I'm not following.
I know, it's stupid. Meaning, like, people go, oh, maybe that was the smart guy behind the Seinfeld or whatever.
Smart guy.
I know, but it's forming as I'm talking. But when I'm not trying to be insulting, we still got our
you can't insult me.
We got our once a year texting
I've already
agreement.
got the money and the cars.
So I need the rest of that clip. The stuff about Brady is what I also need there so that you guys can get the perspective from Seinfeld on he didn't understand, as someone who's still doing shows at 70, why Tom Brady didn't immediately retire after winning the Super Bowl in Tampa, because he's saying it would have been better than Michael Jordan's exit. It would have been the greatest exit in the history of retirements, better than even Elway winning a couple at the end, if he'd gotten away from Belichick, gone to Tampa, won, and just quit on the spot. He's saying if he had thought at all about being a show business person back then, the way he's thinking about now being a show business person, he would have retired on the spot because there was no way to get a better ending than that one.
There's a great interview between Larry King and Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, the classic.
And where Larry King
So
kind of
good.
insinuates like, oh, you guys,
You think they canceled me?
Yeah, like Jerry had to clarify. I was like, do you think we got canceled? I was like, well, no.
5 million viewers last episode.
We were number one.
We were number one.
But it like speaks to that mentality. But Dan, when he says, of course it's all Larry. So I told Tony this a few weeks ago. My algorithm lately has been all these behind-the-scenes interviews with people who worked, wrote, or acted on Seinfeld.
My algorithm's much better.
And what I've discovered is a strong 85% of Seinfeld storylines were all real things that happened to Larry. Like, these weren't like every ridiculous thing you can think of is like there's a Larry story behind that one. And so one of the great interviews is from Jason Alexander, who plays George. And he says when he first came to the show, he's a dramatic actor. He comes from the stage. He's not a comedic actor. Everyone else, obviously, Julia Louis-Dreyfus is from SNL. Michael Rich is a stand-up comedian. Jerry's a stand-up comedian. So he's like, I'm trying to do this thing the only way I know how. So he goes to Larry and he said, Larry, I just can't connect with this character. So for one, this would never happen. And for two, even if it happened, no one would react this way. And he saw Larry kind of seize up and said, what are you talking about? This absolutely happens. It happened to me. And that's what Jason was like, oh, I just got to do a Larry David impression, and that's it. And that's what he did the entire show. So when they did the Seinfeld reunion on Curb Your Enthusiasm, there's a storyline that Jason Alexander quits, and Larry says, I'll play George because George is based on me anyway. In real life, he called Jason Alexander. He said, you got to be on set tomorrow. You got to coach me through this. And Jason's like, coach you through what? I'm imitating you idiot. So he's like trying to imitate someone imitating him. And then as Jason starts giving him notes, Larry's like, I would never say that. What are you doing?
I think it's funny that you're being scooped up by the algorithm the way everyone is being scooped up by the algorithm, which is that you want to understand sort of the genius behind how Seinfeld made that show so interesting or funny or number one without it ever getting old. And so sending you content that gives you interviews and whatnot ends up just feeding our curiosities so endlessly that Kyle Shanahan is probably watching this instead of the road because of the addiction it is to get more and more information on things that you love or curious about and can have explained to you if they send you the right stuff.
Man, let me tell you something. There is no more important explainer algorithm right now than, I don't know if any of you guys watch House of Dragons. Dude, I'm so goddamn confused. Everyone has the same damn name. Rhaenys, Rhaenyra, I'm like, can we get a Kyle just to mix it up? A Hakeem?
Everyone's named Aegon or Aemond.
I love that show so much. I'm addicted to it. the scenes with the dragons are my favorite.
You like the
television.
dragons?
Oh my!
I don't
God.
believe I'm talking to a group of people who are watching current television and watching theme songs being made today, because I believe we all, as a show, just showed our aged asses on theme songs not being made today. I think theme songs are being made today, but that's not the television we're watching.
Well, Game of Thrones or House of Dragons. Dum, 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 dum. I've been at parties where people play it and watch like all these nerds start dancing and stuff. To it.
Hard to believe.
Greg, the Skipper Chuck reference.
Thank you. What? I thought you were complimenting the reference. We all know Skipper Chuck. We all know a Skipper Chuck, whether he was in our living room when we were growing up like me or not. He's eternal. Everybody needs a Skipper Chuck. America needs a Skipper Chuck. You're a skipper. Skipper was a good skipper, unlike Chris Cody in a car. Cheater on the road, skipping the line, cutting in front of others.
I'm not trying.
I didn't raise him like that.
I'm not trying to be late to work. All right, I got somewhere to be.
Leave earlier.
That's rich.
Obey a rule. See a rule and follow it.
Put it on the poll, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Does America need a Skipper Chuck? That's somebody who's reading to children on cartoon television.
That's
on
what the show was?
Sunday mornings.
I don't get it.
It was just him reading the newspaper cartoons to kids. That's what the show was.
Yeah. You're a skipper.
Let's go to another, though, Argentinian call, because there is blatant homerism involved with these calls. This is Pablo Giralt.
Otro centro más de Messi va pasado. A ver que le pega Messi al arco. ¡Vamos Argentina, carajo! ¡Vamos Argentina, carajo! ¡2-2! ¡Acá está el campeón del mundo! ¡Acá está el campeón del mundo! ¡Vamos Argentina de mi vida! ¡Nunca quedarse por vencido! ¡2-2! ¡Vamos Leo de mi vida! ¡Vamos leyenda! ¡Leo de mi vida y mi corazón! ¡Vamos leyenda! ¡Vamos Leo viejo nomás! ¡Vamos Leo viejo nomás! 2-2, Juan Pablo. Esto no ha terminado. No termina hasta que suene la campana, compañero. 2-2.
So some of you might want a translation, and I'm pretty sure I heard in there your mother's a slut.
I think I heard MF'er there.
Amongst others.
But did he actually say puta madre? Did I hear that?
I thought I heard that, which I can't believe.
We might need a replay on it just to get ears on it again.
Well, Tony, you're going to have to, I'm going to need your help here. You translate as much as you can. Let's get all the Spanish we got in the room because it happens very fast here. But I heard your mother's a slut in the middle of that, and that seems like not what Al Michaels would have done during a historic 1980s call for the U.S. Olympic team.
Do you believe in miracles, motherfucker?
Do you believe in miracles? Puta madre. Let me see if I've got this right. Let's write as much of this down as we can.
Otro centro más de Messi va pasado. A ver que le pega Messi al arco. ¡Vamos Argentina, carajo! ¡Vamos Argentina, carajo! 2-2! ¡Acá está el campeón del mundo! ¡Acá está el campeón del mundo! ¡Vamos Argentina de mi vida! ¡Nunca quedarse por vencido! 2-2! Vamos, Leo de mi vida. Vamos, leyenda. Leo de mi vida y mi corazón. Vamos, leyenda. Vamos, Leo viejo nomás. Vamos, Leo viejo nomás. 2-2, Juan Pablo. Esto no ha terminado. No termina hasta que suene la campana, compañero. 2-2.
Jeremy, that's a professional broadcaster.
No, you're right. I felt it.
So never in my life, my heart, he said, let's bleep and go 2-2. And I'm pretty sure he said carajo 3 times.
There was 3 carajos.
What's that mean?
3 carajos?
Carajo's like,
This one's tough to translate.
How do I explain it to you?
Carajo is a difficult
Carajo's
one. It's like holy shit.
Yeah.
But it's got multiple meanings.
Yeah. Because it could mean super far.
I wish we could say things like
Also
that on
mean
broad.
hell.
Like something awesome happens. Like when Ray Allen hit the shot, Mike Ingles should have said, "Holy shit!" That'd be great. You could say something like that.
I don't think you can say what he did.
Rebound to Bosch, back out to Allen. Bang, motherfucker!
That sounds like puta madre.
No, it is.
That's exactly what he said.
You can't say that.
I mean, come on.
If there's ever a time.
That's his miracle on ice.
Let's try and define, though, carajo for a second, because casa carajo is, you need the casa to say it's far away.
How do you spell it?
C-A-R-A-J-O.
So carajo, the original meaning for carajo was on a old Spanish galleon boat, right? You'd have the crow's nest on top where you'd look to see where land is. That's called el carajo. So people would be like, vete pa'l carajo, which is go far away, up to the crow's nest to go see if there's land.
So in context, what's he saying?
Carajo is a highly versatile and vulgar Spanish interjection. Its exact meaning spans from damn or hell to fuck, depending heavily on the Spanish-speaking region and the context in which it's used.
Carson Beck with his legs, motherfucker! I came for the 60 Minutes thing, literally, and it was awesome, but I stuck around for the thoughts on the Odyssey.
Okay, the episode is titled, it's a couple days ago, if you want to go back wherever you get your podcasts. Over the last couple days, something interesting and funny has happened.
You were talking about good numbers.
Where I have realized that Mike, and Dan for that matter, okay, because I got this from Dan as well 2 days ago. I am realizing Mike and Dan are listening to Zaslow Show 2.0 for the very first time.
No, I listen. I listen to Zaslow Show 2.0 whenever I guest on it. I love the sound of my own voice.
So that's what I've realized because I got a call from Dan a couple days ago. And he loved it. He listened to the whole episode.
Shirtless FaceTime in bed?
And I don't expect him to listen to the whole episode. All right, like episodes are about 45 minutes. I don't expect him to listen to the whole episode, but he clearly sat there, maybe it was in his car, maybe it was shirtless in bed, I don't know, and listened to the whole episode. This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings Sports. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
So there are a number of things going on in sports and in the world that I want to talk about, and it ranges, okay, a bit crazily from the White House Correspondents' Dinner to the Indiana Fever avoiding answering questions about a pro-Sophie Cunningham rally before the game that promoted the barring of transgender students from participating in girls' athletics at Washington schools. And as the politics, sociology, and all of it comes to sports again and again and laps against the shores of all this, Caitlin Clark, now a joyless, wonderful player who's at the height of a race war and a gender war and a sexuality war, and it's all coming to women's sports. And the NBA had 40 years of Magic and Bird to prepare for all of this and still isn't ready. So there is no league that can withstand the present time right now, but Caitlin Clark and that one are going to be burdened by the politics of the day, as the women in that league were stronger and better leaders at the beginning of the pandemic than anyone in sports, by leaps and bounds. But now the politics come to that sport. Caitlin Clark wants to just play ball. Like, it's just amazing to watch this all happen again. Charles Barkley on Sports Illustrated, wrapped in literal change, saying, "No, I don't want to be your role model. I don't want to be a role model. I'm here to play basketball." This coming to that sport. Hey, Caitlin, everybody, Sophie, solve our transgender issue in America. None of them saw this coming. None of them is prepared for this. Ali did not have to do exactly this. He was fighting on one front, maybe two, if you include literal war. But Ali wasn't fighting on all these fronts. He wasn't fighting on behalf of women and gender and protecting the swim meets from the seventh place grifters who use women's sports as, I don't want my high school dominated by LeBron James if he decides to become a woman.
I don't know. I think Ali fought a little bit of a bigger uphill battle.
No, I'm saying it's not on this front. He wasn't doing also sexuality, and he wasn't also doing gender. I'm not minimizing what Ali had. The modern politics of the time make it that for whoever is today's most famous athlete, Ali didn't have to deal with social media. Whatever that young person is of thinking, everyone has access to me. Caitlin Clark is now a political figure, could not have thought of any of that in her dreams. Whatever her dreams were about being a basketball player, could not have imagined. They're going to be talking about my technical fouls all the time. The amount of pressure and stress we are putting on all of these people in sports. Not just, I don't want to make Caitlin Clark sound like a victim. It just sucks to see her reach her dreams and have it not feel good. Like, have sports feel super shitty when you're doing the things we all want sports to be when we're dreaming about it in the backyard.
I think the part that's unfair to her, to Angel Reese, to all of them, is that they become avatars in a proxy war between people who don't give a shit about their sport. Yeah. That's the big thing. If it were heated, like people saying LeBron or MJ, like at least when you talk about LeBron and MJ, even though it's a dumb argument, like, you know that the people arguing here actually watch basketball, actually care to say that LeBron is greater than Jordan or vice versa, right? When it comes to people arguing Caitlin Clark versus fill in the blank, like, the majority of the combatants in this arena are people who don't really watch. They're like, oh, well, Caitlin Clark, or I heard that she's like da-da-da, like, oh, yeah, it stands up for good American values. And so now I'm going to say, she's my favorite. Sophie Cunningham's my favorite player that averages less than 10 points a game, who is a very nondescript role player in the WNBA, becomes this kind of lightning rod for people who don't watch women's basketball. And then the opposite occurs, where you have this reaction from people like, to hell with her, because they're fighting not about the basketball, not about the product, if you will, but they're fighting a proxy war that they're having in real life about transgenders, about race, about socioeconomic class, and all those things. And so what ends up happening through the arena of social media is it seems like everyone's really worked up about these people and splitting sides, taking sides in two different camps. The reality is the majority of these people have not watched a second of WNBA basketball.
But this is the way, though, wherever you were 10 years ago on Kaepernick, that's how politics comes to the arena. Like, it's always in that disguise. Like, of course, it's people who don't have any interest in the game. They don't care in the swim meet that some high school girl is winning either. The outrage isn't about that. It's about wrapping your politics in whatever already confirms your beliefs so that you could wave that flag. But to me, it's just sad that after Ali, 65 years later, that we do all of this poorly, this dumbly, this hatefully, this idiotically, that we do it with these dumb conversations that happen to also suck the fun out of sports for both Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, because they're no longer about doing the thing that they loved, and the thing that they loved doesn't look like what they thought it was, doesn't feel like it was, because the internet's breathing on your neck telling you all the time, hey, congratulations on your success. We hate you. We hate everything you represent. And you're getting all of the applause in the arenas and you're getting all of the money at the top of the league, but it feels real to you, the commentary of, we hate you. You're not doing enough, Angel. You're not doing enough, Caitlin. You need to fight these wars and wave this flag at the top of your sport. Be Ali. Be an activist. In the modern times, see if you can beat all of the trolls.
Dan, this is what I'll tell you. 2 things. Number 1, sports is the ultimate passport. It's how you get in. Right? If you try to come in, hey, let's talk politics. Like, no, nobody wants to talk about this. Hey, let's talk, oh, you guys watch WNBA? Like, yeah. Like, okay, let's talk sports. And then it's like, yeah, let's talk all these transgenders. Like, it's the passport to get into the conversation that otherwise would be left outside. That's 1. 2, you said, oh, you get all the applause, but all the boos and all that stuff. We just played the Jerry Seinfeld clip, man. I can't take offense. All the money in cars are already here. And for this generation of WNBA athletes who are seeing real money in a way that Cheryl Miller and Cheryl Swoops and Rebecca Lobo and those guys did not get to see anything close to that kind of money. Like, yeah, that's what comes with it. That's what part of it is when I see my counterparts who do cover the WNBA and are upset about this influx of new eyes, right? Or like whenever they talk about it on First Take, like, oh, what does Stephen A. Smith know about our sport? I'm like, yeah, welcome to the club. This is how all of us feel about our sports whenever they talk about it on First Take. That is the barter system happens. Hey, you want money? You want popularity? You want eyes? Yes, but you don't get to curate which eyes. It's going to be a bunch of people who are ignorant about your sport sometimes.
But here's the thing, though, that is most fascinating to me about this happening at this particular time. We gave the women the responsibility before we gave them the money. Like, they just got to the money. And they've had the responsibility, and now the responsibility is, hey, America's in real crisis right now. Become an avatar for all these political stories where I don't, like, Sophie Cunningham's popularity is not because of her politics. It is nor is it because of her basketball. Her popularity is she's beautiful and she's a model and she's also got opinions that now can be used as an avatar for the other side of this fight. And now the people who are talking about this game aren't talking about the game. They're talking about the easy spots, the cheap and lazy spots, Zaz, where we can all talk about it because, look, it's pretty blonde woman against a black league, or it's pretty Caitlin Clark for middle America against a black league that's also, sexually it makes me uncomfortable because I'm a person who's not good with the players dating each other.
I mean, they've gotten the responsibility before the money, but they didn't get the responsibility before the popularity, though. Like, those are different things, right? Like, the popularity came before the money, but the popularity came and then it was the responsibility.
The popularity brought the money, but the responsibility, look, it got taken. The men were in the bubble wearing social justice uniforms, and we saw the damage of that. It's real. It's concrete. It has to do with money and lost fans on, we don't want this over here. But when it's Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, a good segment of today's America does want that over here, watches it and participates in it only because it's over here. They don't know what the Atlanta Dream was doing during the pandemic to actually have and show real power of community. That's not what they were paying attention to, where the Atlanta Dream would be a seismic symbol for a people if we were actually paying attention to those politics because of how strong those women were. And now Renee Montgomery is in the corridors of power where she runs a team that is a regional and social emblem as another civil war comes to America. And we know down there in Atlanta, they got some tough-ass people who are willing to lead this country, not just in basketball.
I want to play unsarcastically Dan Le Batard here, because I think there's a fascinating conversation that's related to this, not exactly what you're talking about, Dan, but about, you mentioned it, like the players dating each other and what's happening. And I made some references to it in Weekend Observations between Melissa Smith and her ex and all that. And I've always been fascinated about this topic because this seems to be the only sport on earth where this is a feature of the league dynamics, of player movement, of decision-making.
It's incredible.
These two used to date, and they don't date anymore. It blows my mind that it's not a bigger storyline when spoken about in mainstream media, and I think because most of mainstream media is uncomfortable talking about same-sex relationships.
And it's one of the many places that the media lags behind, as the media also gets called too liberal for doing an assortment of things that feel like they're pro-equality and end up going against people's religious beliefs. The way that we talk about this league around here and most of sports is very poor, but there is expertise all over the place. And Juju and Zaz and Amin and Trista are all covering the sport in a way that's more complete and has, the game stuff. But I'm curious as we talk about all of this, and we haven't even gotten to the FIFA corruption scandal, which at any other time in my lifetime, if I take some of these details and make all of this bankrupt and corrupt, like all of sports fans would launch into the air in real outrage on, this isn't for sale. The World Cup's not like you're already commercializing it in the most maximum possible way. It can't go from, wait a minute, really? Trump is going to overturn a red card and now it's all going to be like, just grab all the money from every spot and turn this into a profitable enterprise that is no longer the world's game. We're going to ruin it this fast. As soon as it gets here, we're going to ruin it because it's just going to be soaked in corruption. I want to ask you guys about something that really bothered me, and it bothered me in delay, and I was surprised by my reaction to it because it's never happened to me before. So I didn't actually watch the White House Correspondents' dinner, all of it, until last night. And it made me furiously mad, like unreasonably mad, to see the free press sort of dancing at a party with a cartoon criminal clown who is sitting there doxing reporters and suing places for $20 billion, and the biggest enemy of the press that there has been in my entire adult lifetime, the biggest enemy of freedom of speech when it comes to the press that I have ever seen, and doing real damage and winning. Because if the job of the press is put the truth in front of the people so there can be shame, but you're putting that truth in front of a person who feels no shame and has bankrupted the entire system because he's incapable of shame, and has taken a hatchet to media outlets because he can do lawsuits that take no inventory of shame. I got severely pissed off watching us, a Nero fiddling with Rome when Rome burned situation, watching us party with Donald Trump when he's the biggest enemy that the press has ever had in my lifetime. And it got me to thinking about, and this part's hard because it sounds so sanctimonious, but I would not shake that man's hand in public. Like when I had to go to Cuba, I had to give real thought to if I ended up in one of these situations where, we're bartering on behalf of Barack Obama, ESPN, baseball, and the embargo. If I get into one of these situations where I have to shake hands with public people who have an affiliation to having my family's blood on their hands, do I shake their hand? When I see this clip, I'm going to play this clip for you guys, and we made some fun of it here on Monday, but when I see this clip of just all of this, this is the darkest of bleakest of comedy.
This year's award goes to the Wall Street Journal. The Journal's courageous reporting on President Trump's past relationship with financier Jeffrey Epstein triggered the release of the so-called Epstein files, thousands of documents that might otherwise have remained hidden from the public. And despite the president's threat of a lawsuit, the Journal published a story about a provocative letter to Epstein bearing President Trump's signature. Trump quickly filed a $20 billion lawsuit against the Journal, revealing reporter Khadija Safdar's home address. Her family had to be relocated. The Journal was kicked off of Air Force One, but the reporters continue to file revelatory stories. Please welcome the winners of the Katharine Graham Award from the Wall Street Journal.
So Dan, what I would say to you is, I don't think this night can be classified as parting with Donald Trump. Whatever face he's putting on right here betrays probably how he really felt, because this night was not a success for him. He did his stand-up routine. He was terrible at it. Like that silence when even your sycophants, even the biggest bootlickers in the room who you heard cheer there when they talked about the lawsuit, even those people didn't laugh at his lame jokes. So there's that sting going on. And then what other venue, what other arena could we have where Donald Trump has to sit and listen to Wolf Blitzer say all of that, not be able to interrupt, not be able to call it fake news, not tell him to get out of here or anything. You just got to sit and take it. Yes, it's like it's not nice that these people had to go hang out with him in a room in a quote-unquote casual setting, but I believe he didn't walk away from that night being like, that was awesome. He felt pretty upset probably.
I totally agree with Amin. I think it was a victory for whoever is anti-Trump. And Trump having to sit right here and listen to somebody get an award for exposing him and his relationship with Epstein, that's a tremendous victory for democracy. Just that one little segment. And if I don't want to shake hands with Donald Trump, I'm going to boycott the evening. I'm not going to attend. If I do attend, I'm going to fake civility, because I think civility is important, even if it's an illusion or a pretense. There's nothing wrong with shaking a hand of someone you object to, I don't believe.
The big thing here, Dan, I think you got to accept is for him to have to hear that in public, on air, and then repeated across however many shows, there has to be people who are willing to shake his hand. Even if they object to it internally. There has to be. Because if it's all a bunch of people like, I'll never go to that thing, like, yes, congratulations, guess what that thing becomes? It becomes all of his sycophants, all of his bootlickers, and all they talk about is the cookie-cutter fluff stuff that does not represent what's really happening. In order for that, this might be the last bastion of a free press and democracy. For him to have to sit there and witness that and not be able to do a damn thing about it.
Such a bullshit victory when the sentence you just uttered is, this might be the last bastion of democracy. Congratulations, we won at the end. Wolf Blitzer, the prize for courage on, listen to those details. The president in the Epstein files, $20 billion lawsuit, doxed the family for doing what? Telling the truth. For getting a Courage Award for the truth. The details on that, on I can bury the truth with my money if I have the power of government to just trash the American press. The last bastion of democracy can't be us laughing.
You dismiss it, Dan, but the alternative is we wouldn't laugh because it wouldn't have even happened. That's the alternative. Like you can't think about things in a like where it was 10 years ago. Like that. It's gone. Right now, we're fighting for today. It's 4th and inches.
But
it's 4th and inches, and we're on defense.
But this pretends that we're still doing polite society. This pretends that that's what we're still doing.
Dan, if you did not want to pretend to do polite society, like Greg said, you wouldn't show up. And if so none of those people show up, then we get Pravda. You get true propaganda. You get true state-run media and state-run. Like this, what I'm trying to tell you is, in the football analogy, we're on the goal line and we're on defense, and it's inches. And you're like, that wasn't a first down for us going the other way. Yeah, we're just trying to stop these guys right now. We're trying to stop them from getting in the end zone.
Okay, so bringing this to this little playground of stupidity where sports is, because I want to talk to all of you about what happened with Michael Strahan and Dan Patrick yesterday. And I wanted to have Jeff Pearlman on today because he and I have been called ghouls for trying to protect a journalism standard of some sort when it comes to interviews. Michael Strahan, did you guys see this? Michael Strahan was on with Dan Patrick, and before I play the sound here, some people called me and Jeff Pearlman ghoulish because we asked, hey, should you have asked Chris Johnson when he's telling you on Good Morning America that he has ALS? Should you have asked him if football has any sort of link to that? Jeff Pearlman was very judgmental and harsh on Michael Strahan. I just said, and got lumped in with him, that I got lumped in as ripping Strahan when I just said he has a responsibility to ask the question about football. Strahan, what did you think of Strahan's answer to this question before we play it?
I mean, I thought I didn't need Michael Strahan telling me what an interviewer's job is.
Okay, but if we're going to give the big interviews to the athletes who are going to behave like interviewers, then he might not need to tell you what an interviewer does, but he becomes one of America's foremost interviewers because he's the person that you go to outside of sports with a link through sports. It's Shannon Sharp, all the smoke guys. In terms of access, Good Morning America still matters like that. So you might not want to hear from Strahan what an interviewer is, but he got the interviewer because he's one of America's preeminent interviewers.
I thought it also came off a little bit self-important because for some reason Strahan believes if he would have asked that tough question, which Dan Patrick said to him, Dan Patrick came out in front and, was, hey, like, I was critical of this. And Michael Strahan felt that if he asks those tough questions, somehow the story is becoming about him, that he then becomes a star. And I don't understand that.
All right, well, let's listen to Strahan in his own words with Dan Patrick.
You got a lot of attention on the Chris Johnson interview, a lot of positive things. There was one thing that wasn't brought up, and I don't know why, and I brought it up that it should have been brought up, the connection between CTE and football. I don't know, in retrospect, should that have been a question, a topic for Chris Johnson when you interviewed him?
Well, I had that. I actually thought about that because I saw what well, you should have asked this, you should have asked that. Well, you should have got the interview. How about that? That's one thing. Two, that was Chris's moment for Chris to share the story, which Chris wanted to share. And when I got the call that Chris wanted to share that he had ALS, that was the story. It wasn't for me to try to grandstand, which I hate when people do this, Dan. As an interviewer, our job is to deliver information. I'm not trying to get a bigger name for myself by putting somebody else in an uncomfortable position. I was there as a service to Chris for what Chris wanted people to understand and know about his life and where he was now. I was not there to make a story about myself or to get a big headline. That's what it wasn't about. The headlines were about Chris is where they needed to be.
How is asking him important questions that the audience would like to know making the interview about himself?
Well, does the audience want to know? Because I've got a number of thoughts here, and I'm just telling you that this is where the ground is shifting on how this stuff is going to be done when there are giant partnerships involved with how the news is presented to you. I think the audience does like that Michael Strahan is a really likable television personality. It's one of the amazing success stories in the history of media in sports that he rose up through what Tiki Barber was looking to build in New York and became a giant black dude who came out holding the hand of a tiny white television personality to replace Regis Philbin because he could be that likable. His job is to be likable. How are you likable? Doing things like this and arguing against the idea that there should be any tough questions during an uncomfortable interview that nobody wants to see, that football might have done this to him. Nobody wants to see it. Nobody wants to look at it. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to televise it with their morning breakfast, letting America out into the world on Good Morning America. Michael Strahan's job is to be a likable television personality, and that will get the future interviews. You good with that?
Is anyone with me when I think that if Strahan didn't have that gap tooth, he wouldn't be as popular?
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Would Strahan be as popular if all of his teeth were perfect?
It's a very valid point.
Greg, what are your thoughts here? Because
I disagree with Michael Strahan, and I don't think there's anything particularly unlikable or controversial if you have a player who has admitted he suffers from ALS. I don't think there's anything controversial about asking him, do you think that could be related in any way to what you've done for a living? You're inviting him to give his opinion on something that's very valid.
But here's the thing, though. We're sitting here agreeing with each other and slapping each other on the back saying we're what the audience wants, and we're not. Like, we're not. What the audience wants is that interview. And Michael Strahan just said, did I get the interview or you? Well, yeah, what was the trade? What was the trade? And if America doesn't care about what was the trade, is the trade that you're protecting football? Is the trade that you don't want people to see this? You could say that it's grandstanding. I don't think it's grandstanding to ask that question. I'm not doing that to bother him. I'm not doing that to show people, look at me. I ask tough questions. I'm just curious if Chris Johnson thinks that football has anything to do with why it is he has to do that interview in the first place.
Right. If you're going to do the interview, the audience wants answers to some questions. Chris Johnson didn't need that. Michael Strahan makes it sound like as if Chris Johnson needed that interview to get the word out that he is suffering from ALS. Nope. It's really easy in today's day and age to get the information you want to get out to everyone. You could do that yourself whenever you want. So if you're going to go on an interview show, I think questions that are pertinent should be asked.
To me, the most basic value of interviewing is to extract from the person you're interviewing the information that people would be curious about. Okay, this is a young guy, an athlete who has ALS. It's natural to wonder how is that related in any way to football?
But so let me continue to stop all of you on this point, okay? Whatever degree you think backlash is, whatever is the sound of backlash, there were many people critical of me saying that Strahan has a responsibility to ask that question. Some people framed it as I was ripping Strahan. I'm not ripping Strahan. I don't know how the audience wants its interviews, but it seems to me that the audience wants its interviews to be a little more aligned with wherever it is Michael Strahan is in the world. On the important thing is to get him to sit down. The questions after that don't matter. The reason athletes are making the documentaries now, like this, all of this stuff is really interesting to me from a business perspective, okay? Just from a business perspective. When I was talking to All the Smoke and they were partners with us, I was talking to Matt Barnes about something. He's like, how would you feel about what was happening right now if you weren't in the position you were in? I'm like, I'd feel terribly, terribly threatened by the number of athletes coming over and grabbing power. And because they have the access, they can tell all of the stories. Because we built the business, and this is difficult for me to talk about because a lot of people think always that I'm bitter about ESPN when I couldn't be more grateful for all of the things ESPN provided, because I'm a sports writer from Miami who has no business having the access to some of these things. But the athletes now are replacing the interviewers. Shannon Sharp and All the Smoke are really good at it. Gil's Arena had something really special that broke apart across ego and nonsense and the things that fracture these things. But there are all sorts of authentic media places where you can get what you want from your trusted source. And if that trusted source is the one who can get the access, whether it's Good Morning America or because All the Smoke are interviewing Obama and the First Lady, because they are credible and authentic and they have audience. What do you do with Michael Strahan has the Good Morning America platform, and if Good Morning America is tied as a media outlet to everything happening and all the partnerships around football, and you get to the point, as we will, you're not going to ask any of those questions ever about football again on any of these platforms, because Amazon and Netflix and Good Morning America, they don't actually have any obligation to be press, to be journalists, to press. They don't have any obligation there. Do you know why people care so much about ESPN and not when Fox starts laying people off? It's because of the journalism the last 30 years. Like, they banked on it, they made the bet, and then people care because they expect them to live to a standard that Fox doesn't have to live to. Fox can fire all the people. Nobody says anything about anything that Fox is doing. They care about the brand that was built on the journalism. And so I ask you now, 5, 10, 15 years from now, you good with it going more and more Strahan's way, because it's going to. It's all going to be that soon.
Yeah, not really. I would like interesting stuff to be asked of interview subjects. I would like interesting stuff to be asked of athletes when they're in that spot.
I just wish he would have been like, oh man, I wish I'd asked that.
Yeah.
I think the part of him being like he was so prickly about it. That's what threw me off. It's not that, hey, you should have got the interview, or hey, I don't want to grandstand. It's a very relevant question. And it's a question that which the answer would have been the star, not Strahan for asking.
Why does he think he becomes the story for asking that question?
Yeah, crazy. I don't think even Chris Johnson would have been insulted or even surprised by that question. But the larger point
Chris
is,
Johnson probably leaves. Man, I can't believe you asked me about football.
I know, right? Maybe he would have wanted to talk about it. Give him the opportunity. But look, Strahan can be as genial as he wants to be. He can trade off on the fact that he's not going to be a hard interviewer. He's going to ask softball questions. That's fine. If he wants that access, makes that trade-off, he's totally entitled to do that. I just happen to think that it's valuable to have asked him that question. And I think a lot of people don't care, didn't want to hear that, but I think a lot of people did. And hopefully there's always going to be interviewers out there with the access who ask the tough questions. There has to be.
The mate was a mighty sailing man, the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers set sail that day for a 3-hour tour.
A 3-hour tour.
Did we find finally what the top 10 are going to be? Because we now need an official ranking top 10 television theme songs of all time. We need to get the rankings in order. We need to do this properly. We can't have all of these songs being sung around here and all of them being 45 years old. I need someone recent. I need a young voice. Find me a young voice watching television today who can sing a theme song that rivals anything Alan Thicke. You're not going to tell me that Alan Thicke wrote the best of this 40 years ago. It can't be Different Strokes and Facts of Life. It can't be him and Quincy Jones dominating the market and 50 and 60 years later. It has to be our ignorance that other people are making good music now and we're not paying attention. We don't have time for theme songs anymore.
Now we're moving on up to the east. To a deluxe apartment in the sky. I'm moving on. The east side. We finally got a piece of the pie. Dun, dun, dun. In the kitchen, on the grill. Took a whole lot of T-Ryan just to get up that hill. Dun, dun. Now and up in the big leagues. Sitting there, turn that bat. And I'm in something, and then something. It ain't nothing wrong with that.
Out of curiosity, how do you guys feel when someone is singing around you and they don't know some of the words and it just becomes them saying and something this and something that?
I love that.
Just not in the world of, here at the lowest rung on the show business ladder. I'm just talking about in life as you're walking around.
Makes me uncomfortable.
I love it.
I get second embarrassment.
So
I don't like it.
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're a monotonic family from the town of Bedrock. Bra-da-da-da-bra-da-da-da-dee.
Meet George Jetson.
His dog
Jane,
Elroy.
his wife, his dog Elroy, his boy Elroy.
Dog Elroy. Was that a dog or a
Elroy
son?
was the son.
Son.
Astro was the dog.
Ah, that's right. Good catch.
Rosie was the maid.
Yeah.
Robot.
According to Rolling Stone, Dan, there was a tie at number 2 for top TV theme songs of all time between the Brady Bunch and Gilligan's Island. 100 songs they ranked, and there was a tie at number 2.
Here's a story
Of a man named Brady. Who was there were 4 of them living all together. And they were here's a story of a manly lady who is living with 3 girls of her own. They were all things of something. The youngest one in curls. Then the one day when the man had met this lady, and they knew there was much more than a hunch.
There goes Asco.
They knew that was the family. That's the way we all became the Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch. That's the way we became the Brady Bunch.
number 2.
Tied for Gilligan's Island. Number 1 is moving on up with the Jeffersons.
Holy shit, but where's Hawaii 5? I need to hear this top 10. Wait a minute. Wait. So the argument began with me saying you're not going to find many songs ever in the history of television better than Gilligan's Island as a theme song. And you said, I can name 10 of them right off the top of my head.
I could.
Now, Tony has found an authentic internet list of some sort with great credibility that proves my point that Gilligan's Island is number 2, tied all time in the history of song.
What is the source?
TVthemesong.com.
Okay, there you go.
Boom!
Wow.
Got the domain name. Credible. Passes for media in the modern age.
All right, 15 was Mission Impossible from 1966 to 73.
Dum, 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 dum.
Number
dum,
14,
dum.
The Wire.
Hold on a minute. Slow down, Tone.
yeah.
Tone.
The Wire. Which version? Because every season they had a different version.
Yeah, no, it doesn't say the
See?
season. It just says
If
throughout its life.
Unreliable.
if Amin is that moved by song and inspiration to dance to Mission Impossible, let the man cook.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun, dun, 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 dun. All right, number 13, Cheers.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah.
That's 13? What, we trusting this list?
13. I mean,
You
Cheers. A lot of people would put Cheers in the top 10. That was a song that was famous beyond the television
Yes.
show.
Yeah, hit record
13 is too low, is what I'm saying.
on the radio.
Number
Wouldn't
12,
you like to get away?
Hawaii 5-0.
Oh, yeah.
That's blasphemous. That's not in the top 10. That needs to be in the top 10.
11, Game of Thrones.
Get out of here.
No, unacceptable.
10, Adult Swim's Too Many Cooks.
See, okay, this is an unserious list.
But Dan was asking about
I know.
modern ones. There
I'm
it
just
is.
saying, that is modern, but it's also unserious.
Number 9, The OC. Number 8, Friends. Number 7, Fresh Prince. Number 6, The Twilight Zone.
Yeah. That's good.
Number 5, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Number 4 is a crazy one. CW's Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
What are we doing?
Never even heard of that.
Never heard of that one. All right. Number 3, Sanford and Son. A tie between Gilligan's Island and Brady Bunch, and then obviously number 1, Moving On Up by the Jeffersons.
I am glad we got a conclusion on that. We will get to less important matters next with Master Tesfazian. We are going to talk about the greatest scandal in the history of sports corruption. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Are we starting on number 60 or are we starting on number 50? Where are we
No,
starting?
we're starting on number 60. Right now, for the time being, it's a top 60 countdown.
And remember, we've gotten to the point now when he rattles through these, he almost passes out. You can take a breath. Like, we don't want you to die.
Right.
Take a breath if you need to.
Although, if he were to die,
The numbies would go up.
That's the way to go up.
well, it's not.
Be viral.
Wait a minute.
I'm dying on my podcast, not this one.
Yeah, he's said that many times.
Okay. Some
He's
people
also
have
made
said
me
I'm
promise that the
dying on
week
my
after he passes, we release an episode.
Gotta eat a peck of dirt before you die.
Peck of dirt. That's right. Nana Doogie.
I know that's right. I'm you.
You keep agreeing with your inner monologue.
Yeah, you know, ain't no log in it.
Your
Save that.
your inner monologue is speaking on behalf of you. You don't have to agree with it. It's
Trailers for
For
sale.
sale, rent. Hey, rooms to let 50 cents. Jinx.
Hot in here.
Put a Lobo's mint under your pillow and dream big. Friendly reminder that Clark Spence is a horse murderer. He looks the part. If we were to set up a lineup of people that would shoot horses for fun, Clark Spencer, top of the heap.
Number 60,
Glenn
Greg.
Pasquarelli up there, too.
Wow.
Ray Rotto, got my eye on you.
I do want to step back for a second here because Greg Cody said that he doesn't want to die on this podcast. He wants to die on his podcast.
You don't get to choose.
And that's correct.
I do.
And no, you don't. You don't get to choose there. And your son has said that it would be good for numbers. That's not what I was going to say.
Numbies.
Yeah, that is what you said. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Douche or no douche? Guy who calls numbers numbies. What I was saying, though, is that as you go through this list on our show, it's not for ratings. I believe that your father, if I gave him his choice on preferred ways to go, instead of asphyxiation or being punched in the face till his death, high on the list would be while reading his catchphrases to an international audience. Why are you shadowboxing?
Seemed like the thing to do.
You got to stay on your toes.
Got to be on your toes in this business.
You're sitting. Hold on.
17 is great. Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
I don't appreciate it.
It makes Zaz furious every time, but it makes it makes Tony so happy. Tony is rarely as radiant as he is when right in Zaz's face, Cody, with no knowledge of one of Zaz's signature phrases, changes it, co-ops it, makes it his own, and dare I say, Tony thinks it's better.
It's absolutely better.
It's not better.
It's absolutely better.
You can't just take the awesome things I say and throw hay in front of it and say it's better.
You say them in your voice. He sings them.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Zaz, let me tell you something. A great poet named Sean Carter once said, "You made it a hot line. He made it a hot song."
Wow. There you go.
Looking at what else he said. I agree with that.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Yep, that's mine now.
Looks right at me when he says it. It's insulting.
Yeah.
He stares you down in a way. And Tony, when I'm watching Tony as it happens, it's not just that Cody is singing in your face.
Yeah, because Tony can't fight his own battles, so he feels like
Fight
Greg
my own
is
battles? What are you
putting
talking
me
about?
down.
I put you
so,
down every single time we have a
he's
battle.
like, yeah, get him, Greg.
You haven't beaten me in a battle once.
Okay.
You got cucked on a catchphrase.
Greg Cody is serenading Zaz with a stolen song. That's insulting enough. But more insulting is the fact that the group thinks that he's bettered one of Zaz's signature catchphrases. Zaz has fewer. He doesn't go with 70 catchphrases. Zaz has maybe 6 or 7, and that's one of them, and it's high on the list, and Greg has stolen it, and he sings it, and you guys like it better.
The way I see it is Greg Cody is posting up Zaz on the low block. He's posting him down, right? He's got him pinned, and I'm here dribbling the ball, and I'm like, I got to give the ball to Greg here. So I feed him down low. Greg hits him with the drop step over like a Wemby elbow and then slams it on.
The way I see it, Tony, is you're sitting on the end of the bench with your warm-ups on because you never get in the game, and you're rooting for someone else on your team to do the dirty work.
I don't want to give away a secret, but I've also been told that Zaz's wife much prefers, hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Zaz, what was your reaction? I don't want to be prisoner of the moment. I want to be able to absorb the news of the day with the proper context. So I don't want to overstate this, but I don't know how not to overstate it. What FIFA is doing right now is so brazenly corrupt. To see it go from a Balogun red card that gets overturned to now we're going to sell off pieces of the World Cup to Trump's kids, like, it can't be that you're numb to the size of this sports story in, I don't think I'm overstating it, Greg, when I say this is as brazenly corrupt as anything that you will ever see in sports, and there must be a backlash worldwide to prevent these people from doing this thing. Do I have anything wrong before I go out to an expert in Master Tesfatzian who will break this down for us to see if I've got the proper perspective?
No, I think it's a tremendously big story centered around the biggest sport in the world just coming off its World Cup. The sad thing is we shouldn't be surprised at all that corruption is attached to FIFA.
Okay, but this kind of corruption, you're not allowed to be not shocked by this. Like, you can't say, this is ridiculous. Master, the details on this. Selling a large minority stake in a new company that, well, FIFA has announced plans to sell a large minority stake in a new company that will run its main events, including the World Cup and Club World Cup, as part of a plan to triple the amount of development money it dishes out to its 211 member associates. The press release confirmed that global bank JP Morgan has been featured FIFA's chief advisor on the project, with Thrive Eternal, a long-term investment vehicle set up by Joshua Kushner, the brother of Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, expected to lead the proposed investor group for FFE. Master, thank you for joining us. Pardons for the rambly start, but do I have anything wrong when I'm looking at this and it's appalling in ways that people can't get comfortable with?
Nah, I think you're spot on with this. I think this is really the pinnacle of sports capitalism as we see it in terms of the modern day or late stage sports capitalism. This is truly the climax of that Infantino's selling this and spinning it off of a valuation of $20 billion of what FIFA Forward Enterprises would be, and handing it off to obviously his Wall Street buddies that he has, which, as you mentioned, with Josh Kushner and all the Trump family members that would monetize and profit off this. They would sell off, FIFA would still own 80% of this. 20% is the minority stake that would be sold off. And so that equivalates to about $4.2 billion. So we know there's an election about to happen with Infantino. More than likely, he was going to get elected regardless because this was the most profitable World Cup of all time. This would extend his run till 2031. But basically now he's just buying votes to become this FIFA commissioner that would oversee the FIFA Forward Enterprises, where he would receive a salary that's pretty comparable based off reports to Roger Goodell, which is roughly around $60 to $64 million a year. And that in turn keeps him in power. And it nukes the power that UEFA has. And a lot of this, which is the underbelly of the story, is the ongoing struggle that's been going on between FIFA and UEFA, where UEFA has been this governing body that has had a lot of influence and power in global football, and FIFA's just straight up hated it. And now this is their way to kind of undermine that and minimize that, because now they are paying their nations directly, and the other 211 members within FIFA, paying them directly an upfront payment of $20 million, which can be $40 million now, as we just found out, as Infantino's putting a gun to everyone's head, trying to threaten to make this vote go through by September 19th, so they can receive now $40 million instead of $20 million.
Yeah, Master, I think that's the hard part about all of this in terms of Infantino's power, because every federation has one vote. So UEFA's vote counts the same as, I don't know, like Papua New Guinea's vote or whatever, right? So how does Infantino get out of power when he can just promise $10 million to every nation that isn't a massive football federation?
I mean, that's FIFA as we've known it. It has always come down to these smaller nations that ultimately dictate and rule whenever these votes happen, and whether it's voting to in a very corrupt way of what nations receive the World Cup, or in terms of who remains in power as FIFA president. Like, this is a very textbook play in terms of realizing and influencing amongst all the small islands that exist in CONCACAF, all the African nations that exist, all the nations in Asia, being able to take advantage of the fact that, look, and it's let's be honest here, those nations are not going to make the same amount of money as England or Spain or France or the United States. They're not going to have the opportunity to tap into private equity in the same manner some of these bigger nations are. No one cares about, with all due respect, like, there's very little caring from these private equity companies of those smaller nations. So for their chance and their opportunity to receive this payment that could help pay off debts, that, of course, in an idealistic way, paying off debts, rebuilding in terms of the grassroots efforts of playing the sport, or, as we've come to expect as well, other nations pocketing this money in a very corrupt way, like, this allows them to do that in that kind of manner, which the payment itself would be, 4 or 5 times, I believe it is, the current payment that they receive from FIFA. So there's no one in this current economy, as we're in late stage capitalism, that's going to turn down that much amount of money, regardless of whatever moral, ethical standards that they have.
Okay, so you've said late stage capitalism now a couple of times, and a source is describing this whole setup as pure bribery. Okay, the Times in London, Infantino has told countries to sign up, as you guys mentioned, sell off in 53 days for $40 million each, or reject it and receive $10 million. The details of this, Master, what's going to happen? Like, there needs to be an uprising that doesn't allow this to happen. Does the global support for soccer that wrecked the Super League, when fans are like, no, it can't be this dirty? Like, the European sports fan has real voice and real power. What's going to happen here?
Yeah, European fans do, and European leagues do, because ultimately these players are not employed by their federations. They're employed by the clubs. And the best players in the world, with all due respect to the other leagues around the world, they play in Europe. And so they still need the sign off of allowing from UEFA to FIFA to allow these players from the clubs, from the leagues, to allow themselves to participate in these FIFA-sanctioned international breaks, whether that is nation leagues, whether that's World Cup, Club World Cup, etc. But we've seen this playbook oftentimes from UEFA, where they're threatening to boycott the World Cup or the Club World Cup. It happened with the 48-team tournaments. UEFA came out there, they threatened to boycott this. What ended up coming out of this? UEFA got the most spots out of any other federation in the World Cup. They got 16 spots. And they were the only governing body that didn't have to participate in the Interconfederation playoff because they had their own playoff. When the Club World Cup came around, UEFA once again threatened to boycott. What came out of that? Their clubs got $50 million, I believe it was, to participate in the Club World Cup. At a certain point, FIFA's calling their bluff. You can threaten as many times as you want to that you're going to boycott the World Cup and boycott the Club World Cup and all these FIFA moments, or are you just trying to use this to leverage this to try and maximize and ensure the fact that you're getting more leverage because you are you hold more weight in the governing international world than, say, the African countries, the South American countries, the Asian countries, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like this duality of this whole situation. As you talked about the Super League, it's very interesting you mentioned that because UEFA is talking about how they're trying to preserve the soul of football, and everyone's going to point to the Super League as a result of that. But what the Champions League did afterwards, they expanded into the Swiss model. And this thought of playing too many games and the monetary purposes and all that stuff, they expanded the Champions League to play 64 more matches in the Swiss model, which in turn played more games, allowed for a more congested fixture run that the athletes ultimately had to endure. And on the flip side of that, it generated more money that they can produce at the end of the day, and that they can also in turn charge the broadcasting rights, charge the marketing arms, et cetera, so then they can bring in more money for their 55 members. So it's a very complex situation. UEFA is going to put a strong arm in this, but at the end of the day, you also have to keep in mind for every England that there is, and England's in a great situation because they churn out with £500 million a year. They're an outlier in this whole situation. In fact, it's ironic that we're talking about this right now as the Community Shield, which always is what kicks off the English football season, is in 2 weeks. And typically it's played at Wembley Stadium. This year it's played in Cardiff. You want to know why, Dan? Because the Weekend is performing for 5 nights at Wembley Stadium. And they're going to make more money from the Weekend performing at Wembley Stadium, which the English FA owns and is one of their profitable arms that they have that brings in all the revenue that they generate. They're going to make more money from those 5 nights that the Weekend performs than they would from that Community Shield, which is going to be played now in Cardiff, Wales. And this is the only time that's ever happened without a scheduling conflict, whether that was the European Women's Euros or whether that was the London Olympics or the simple fact of construction that was going on at Wembley Stadium. It's happening because they make more money from the Weekend than they would from their own games. So it is a very... if you want to call it hypocrisy, if you want to call it ironic, there's a lot that is very complex in this when you look at it from a European lens standpoint, because they have benefited more than anybody else has from private equity. And now this opportunity exists for other nations, and they're the ones upset about it. And rightfully so, they should be, because they didn't have a say in any of this. CONCACAF didn't have a say in this. UEFA didn't have a say in this. No one had really a say in this outside for Infantino, Kushner, Trump, and whoever else, JP Morgan, that's involved in this deal. And we still don't know what the details of this deal is. That's the craziest part.
Is there any situation conceivable, any amount of scandal conceivable that would allow a challenger to FIFA, would go to the very heart of what Infantino has built there and challenge it and say, there's got to be a better solution than FIFA to lead global soccer?
If there's ever a time, this would be the opportunity to present itself. And it's going to take more than the European nations in order for that to happen. You're going to need, South America obviously is very influential. You're going to need South America on board, but is South America going to turn down $20 to $40 million for their own federations? That is a question that still remains to be seen. And you're going to need other buy-ins from the smaller nations. At the end of the day, I think they only need, 111 votes, I believe it is, something along those lines for this to go through. There are enough nations that are struggling as a result of the global economy and the state it's in, whether it's the financial issues and debts that they've had coming out of COVID.
You think it's going to work? You think the bribe is going to work?
Unfortunately, yes, I do. The one thing I think that's going to push back on this is that they did not have a say in this, and there's no transparency in terms of what this deal is. Whatever this private equity situation looks like, it obviously, I'm sure they'll find a way to rework this, but there are enough nations I feel like that will take this money, yes. However sliced up, whether it's still Kushner and Thrive Capital, whether it's another private equity, whatever the case may be. If there is a arms race or a financial race towards trying to figure out how you can slice this up to divvy up the money and provide a more influx of cash and injection of cash into these different federations, I think the majority of them will run, not walk, to get that. And that is the modern day football. That's what football is now. It is a business.
Master, is there any parallels that can be learned from college football where the power schools just said, to hell with this? We're the ones that bring in the money. We're going to do the CFP. We're going to do it with our broadcast partner, and we can cut the NCAA out of this deal. Do you see something like that happening on a world football level?
I mean, isn't it happening right now with the SEC? I mean, you can compare the SEC and the leverage that they have in terms of threatening to, remove themselves from the current college football playoff and the threats that they've had. I know Mike Ryan was on the air saying, go ahead and do it. I mean, you can compare the SEC to UEFA in terms of their dominance and their influence that they've had in being able to, bend the game internationally or bend the game domestically in the SEC's case towards their will. And again, the biggest question is, are enough people going to side with England, which does not have these same financial problems that other nations have playing this game, because they're not going to get the same check from Nike. They're not going to have the same commercial profitability that England has. You walk around, I'm in London right now, you walk around during this World Cup this summer, you buy a loaf of bread, there's an English player on there that, in terms of its commercialization and the advertising sponsorship that they receive, that simply told you're not going to receive in Moldova. You're not going to receive in Malawi. You're not going to receive in Uganda. You're not going to receive this in all these other nations that are fighting and competing to try and be somewhat competitive, if not earn a spot in the World Cup. And there's already been a European nation that's already broken rank in Czechia, which did participate in this World Cup, finished last in their group, already saying that they're going to take this money because, whether they do it or not, the quote was, as Sky Sports reported it, that they're going to use this money for grassroots efforts. And again, for them, that money is much more valuable to them than it is siding with England, which does not have the same financial problems or some of the most powerful and biggest nations in the sport.
I mean, I want to place in front of you the details that are emerging this morning on some of this. As Master says correctly, we still don't know the details of the deal. But the idea that you could buy the World Cup by bribing small nations that just need the funds during these desperate global times, that you could sell the event we just saw to Trump's family, on the list of sports stories you've seen in your lifetime that should be galling at the height of however we talk about outrage in sports, where does sports being quite this commercial rank today without hyperventilating and with some semblance of perspective of the history and the times that we're in?
Dan, when Sepp Blatter is offended by the level of corruption at play here, that should tell you we've reached into some very scary territory. To me, that's the wild part about, I guess it should be wild, that we're the ones that ruined it, right? Like, this thing existed with corruption, yes, for decades. But like the moment Americans came in there and said, hey, we can make a lot of money doing this, and it's just like, that's it. We infected the virus into this that has led us to this place where this is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous level of corruption, and like Masters pointed out, the lack of transparency, I think, is the biggest, scariest part of this. That they're saying, hey, we're just going to do this deal. You just got to trust us on this one. Which, even in Sepp Blatter's most corrupt days, he was buying votes, but at least he was buying votes and not just telling you.
Here is a tweet from Sepp Blatter. The close relationship between the FIFA president and the U.S. president has reached a financial dimension that is deeply damaging football. No one has the right to sell our game. #sellout. Please, guys, just tell me that we didn't just watch this wonderful game that America just got to caring about. We didn't just watch Trump come and buy himself a red card and then say, you know what, I want the whole league. I want the whole thing. Can I have the whole thing? That's not what just happened here. Master, tell me that's not what's going to happen here.
I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. The funniest part is that the romanticism that's happening in the last 24 hours of Sepp Blatter, it reminds me when people are like, hey, man, that George Bush guy, you know what? He wasn't so bad, was he? When they think about Donald Trump, like this is the way like people are viewing Gianni Infantino at this point. Is that it's so bad that they're romanticizing of someone that was also just as corrupt. like at least he cared about the sport. That's kind of what we're just kind of like, he may have been corrupt, but hey, he liked the sport at least. Like that's kind of that's where we're at in the world right now. It's you're trying to find it's not even the good versus evil. It's cartel versus cartel. That's essentially what we're comparing at this point. Is which cartel do you align with the most, and whatever emotional affection that you have. And there's no winner in this. There really isn't. And I don't know where the sport goes from here at this point. But I also do know that the financial business model of this sport is also unsustainable. Like that is the part that is underlying in this entire situation, is that everyone is trying to keep up with this. The biggest story that's going on in sports world outside of this is whether Vinicius Jr. is going to join Arsenal or stay at Real Madrid, making 30 million euros a year. And that is the biggest story. We've seen 116 million pound players being moved left and right throughout the summer transfer window. There is an insane amount of money that's being moved while everyone is bleeding money. Like that, again, I'm not a macroeconomics major. I enjoy understanding the business of sport, but the money's not adding up. Like at a certain point, like all of this investment that's going into private equity, I think I looked up over a third of the top 5 European clubs are funded by some sort of private equity or venture capitalism. Like this bubble is going to burst at some point. I don't know when that is. This bubble is going to burst. And the people with the money, the people with the leverage, the people with the power are going to maximize and extrapolate that for every single penny, dollar, euro, crypto that they have before it pops. And unfortunately, we're at the mercy of this because when FIFA adds more games to the World Cup, guess who's watching? Me. When FIFA adds new competition to the Club World Cup, guess who's watching? Me. When UEFA adds more games to the Champions League, Europa League, and they add a whole conference league, guess who's sitting here watching? Me.
So it's all your fault.
It's your fault too. I mean, we're all at blame here. The fans, but they've got us. At the end of the day, they have a product that they've have us. And at a certain point, it is going to take the fans to do that, but also it's going to take the governing bodies to do that. And is there enough will at this point when the alternative is potentially the continuing folding that we're seeing of clubs, the inability of these governing bodies, these leagues being able to be solvent? Coming out of COVID, we saw literally La Liga had to borrow money from CVC, a venture capital company. We've seen France football and Ligue 1 have to tap into venture capitalist money. The Bundesliga right now, as we are literally talking, the Bundesliga is contemplating a $1.1 billion investment from venture capitalism to potentially help their league, because at the end of the day, the amount of money it takes for the grassroots to invest in women's sports, to invest in the entire pyramid scheme, to invest in the fundraising, all of this takes money that Europe simply put in a lot of the world at this point. It's hard for them to find that cash outside of private equity.
Check out his soccer podcast. He's got real expertise. The S Word. It's powered by TalkSport. Thank you, Master. Appreciate the time. I will just punctuate all of that by looking at whatever camera it is where America can hear me. It can't be this. Just look. Sports, it can't be this. It can't be the World Cup is great. We all love the World Cup. Trump comes over. Hey, that's not a red card. Give me the whole sport. It can't be this. Am I wrong? It can't be this. It can't be this.
You're not.
Master, get out of here.
The NBA is this. This is sports, unfortunately, right now.
This is not sports. I do not accept this. I don't expect it. I don't respect your premise. What's your favorite theme song from television?
And we're moving on up, moving on up to the east side. Moving on up. We finally got a piece of the pie. Beans don't fry.
We were moving up to the deluxe apartment, and then the song ended. We were just moving up. We were just starting. We were going to sing together, and then somebody ended the song.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Get out of here. It can't be this. I'm not wrong. Look, it can't be this brazen. Guys, I know we're not naive. It can't be the Trumps just say, hey, soccer World Cup looks fun. Let me dance on the stage with Spain. I'm going to do the elephant masturbating dance. Yeah, give me the sport, 20%. Cool? Yeah, give me that. No, that's not a red card. It can't be that.
If there's any justice in the world, it ends the way U.S. men's national teams World Cup dreams ended. A decided defeat while your enemies dance on your grave doing your dance, right? That's how we want it to end. But if you look at money rarely loses, guys.
Okay, but Sepp Blatter was the previous most corrupt thing in the history of corruption, and we're longing for this now.
Let me tell you, I like you. You brought me again into the FIFA. I stay with you. You have voted for me. All those they have voted for the Prince Ali. I congratulate you. It's a good candidate. But I'm now the president of everybody. So I'm the president of everybody. There is no reticence. That's just president of the whole FIFA. Voila.
Voila. Wow. What an exclamation point. I miss him so much. He was delightful. This guy, Johnny Football, is evil. But you know what I want to know, Dan? Where's Prince Ali now?
Voila.
Maybe he's the guy we need to save us from all of this. A Gulf State oil tycoon, Prince. He's the one.
How did he lose? How did he? Wait a minute.
That's a great question.
We cannot escalate the inflation on corruption so much that we go from Sepp Blatter being the most corrupt thing in the history of sports corruption, FIFA being the most corrupt thing in the history of sports corruption, and now J.P. Morgan and a couple of bankers divvying up the World Cup.
Voila.
No, I mean, it is a magic trick. You know what? You know what? You know what? You know it is. It's been happening in front of our eyes. Thank you, Roy. You're right. You're right, Sepp. It's a magic trick. It is going to be that easy. You want to see the red card disappear?
Voila.
You want to see 20% stake in something you love disappear?
Voila.
You want me to give it to my brother-in-law's friend's brother-in-law?
Voila.
Prince Ali is now serving as the president of Jordanian Football Association.
Voila.
That's what he is.
It can't be this! I mean, we're losing. Everybody, we're losing. We're losing. Everything Trump touches turns to shit. Everything. It's just a mountain of diarrhea. Everything he touches. And then he runs off with the crypto coin.
Voila.
Buys the World Cup. My friends are shaking his hand with Wolf Blitzer.
Voila.
Winning Courage Awards. You got to be shitting me.
Voila.
How do we feel about the Wonder Years theme song?
What would you do if you sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song. I'll try not to sing out again. Oh, hear me now. Oh, hear me now. All my needs are my brother now.
Joe Cocker, ladies and gentlemen.
During that song, I heard Chris Cody. I don't know whether this was on air or just whispered to me and Greg, but he just said to Greg Cody, thanks for the help, because Greg Cody did not offer a syllable of song that he recognized or hummed any part of the tune.
That's correct.
Might as well have been going.
You know what? We still haven't sung the #1 theme song of all time. Are you ready?
Charlie Chaplin.
Green Acres is the place for me. Farm living is the life for me.
Green Acres.
If it's the greatest of all time, you got to know the words.
Take Manhattan, just give me that countryside.
I'm going to give you another crack at this, okay?
Let's all lay out.
I want to hear, okay? You can't proclaim something, the greatest song of all time, and then you know 9 of the words.
Yeah. Eva Gabor.
Not helpful.
The most successful Gabor sister.
Not true.
Yes.
Whoa. Zsa Zsa would like a word.
Okay, name the third Gabor. I challenge you.
Gales?
Challenge I did not see coming
Put
today.
it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Name the third Gabor. I challenge you. Just.
Do you accept the challenge?
Do you accept the challenge? Does anyone here accept the challenge?
I do.
I know it.
She's the least successful Gabor.
That is correct.
That is correct. I think I know the name.
You don't know the name
no,
either?
I'm pretty sure.
I want to give you another crack at Green Acres. Now, many of you did not recognize that song. Tony reacted as if there was a bad smell in the room. Greg Cody assumed, as he does inside of his narcissism, that everybody would know and sing along and cover the fact that he doesn't know the song. Go ahead, Greg. Give people Green Acres.
Green Acres is the place for me.
To be.
Farm living is the life. Da-da.
For me.
Da-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Take Manhattan, just give me that countryside.
Nailed it.
Dun 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 dun.
Voilà.
New York is where I'd rather stay. I get allergic from the smell of hay. I just adore penthouse view. Darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. The tours. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. The stores. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Fresh air. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Times Square. Did you like my Gabor?
Great.
I want to hug you right now. I had no idea. The two most delightful surprises of my day are that Roy has a limited Edith Bunker singing, and you can do a Gabor sister. You can do
the second most
Ava.
successful one.
Yes, you can do Ava Gabor, even though, Greg, nobody would argue that Ava Gabor is more successful than Zsa Zsa. Nobody would.
Oh, I think so. Yeah. What's Zsa Zsa famous for? We know Ava is famous for Green Acres. What is Zsa Zsa famous for other than having an exotic first name?
She's a model. She's a supermodel.
Really?
Oh, dear God.
That was before supermodels existed.
No, she invented it.
The third Gabor.
When was the first supermodel?
Gabor sisters. Here we are. And I'm right. I was right on the third name.
You didn't say the third name.
Magda.
No one heard you say it.
You didn't tell anyone.
Magda.
No, if he says it like that, though, Dan, he wins.
Yes.
That's the way it works.
Thank you.
You think it would have escaped our attention if you had said Magda? We're not making babies named Magda anymore.
You're not saying it right, Dan. Dan, you're not saying it right.
No, it's Magda.
That's how you say it.
Hungarian-born actress, socialite. Born 1915 in Budapest, died in 1997. R.I.P.
I did not have us today, as some more LeBron details are coming out, and evidently the Celtics were interested and involved. Dave McMenamin has a story that is coming out now that has some details on LeBron that you guys might be interested in, but we're too busy talking about the Gabor sisters and Magda being the third most famous Gabor, and Magda being a very funny name for someone who would be the third most famous Gabor.
What does that mean?
If you had said it, if you had said it, actually done what you thought in your head and didn't say out loud to help our show be its funniest,
right?
You would have said out loud, and the third sister was Magda, and we all would have fallen out of our chairs at Zsa Zsa, Eva, and the ridiculousness of the name Magda, but it was only happening in your head. And so then you said, it is
Magda.
Like I thought.
Like I thought.
Right. I knew it. And it was verified.
There you go.
Yeah. And in Hungary, Magda is a very popular name. It's like Jane, Mary. Whatever popular names are in this country, that's Magda in Hungary.
You don't see a lot of Janes anymore.
No, you don't. Jane Austen. Pardon me. Who else? What are other popular names? You don't see any Evas anymore.
Jane Seymour?
That's a good one. When's the last time you met another Zsa Zsa?
Never.
Never, right?
That's how you know she's the most famous one.
You know what? That's a good point. I'm turning around on that. I think Zsa Zsa did out-Gabor Eva.
Do you know how I know she's more popular?
How's that?
Zsa Zsa Gabor, 9 marriages.
Wow. Oh, I love that.
What about Zsa Zsa Pachulia?
What?
What?
Love 9 marriages?
Why do you love 9 marriages?
Because a woman gets around. Were any of them famous men? They had to be, right?
Conrad Hilton was one of them.
Hilton?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
The Conrad Hilton.
Woman gets around. I didn't think the Gabor conversation could get any worse. I really didn't. I thought we were at the low point of what the Gabor conversation is. I meant to share with you guys today something that I told my wife about Greg Cody that disgusted Valerie. What are you laughing about? She recoiled. Are you familiar?
I can only imagine.
Are you familiar with what Greg Cody's belief is about toothbrushes?
No, what does that mean?
Greg Cody, I would say that the Cody family, and specifically the way that this father has raised this son, chlorine as shampoo in the pool as a hygiene habit,
Right.
A little unusual. Tell the people your philosophy on toothbrushes, Greg.
Toothbrushes have a much longer shelf life than they're given credit for. When you hear that you need to replace your toothbrush every 2 or 3 months, that's being fed to you by the Toothbrush Manufacturers Association of America. Okay?
The TBAA.
That's right. Toothbrushes will last decades if properly treated.
Decades?
Yeah, decades. My wife denies it. The toothbrush I'm using, I've had for 35 years. Okay? It's perfect.
How are those bristles looking?
They're great.
There's no way they're great.
Yeah, because they start off as stiff.
You're brushing with like a nub.
After about 10 years, they become medium. It's a little on the soft side, but the bristles are still there.
No, you want the bristles to be sharp.
No, you don't.
Of course you do.
Don't make your gums bleed?
Well, your gums only bleed if you don't brush properly.
No,
and often enough.
Oh, I brush properly, believe me. But the thing you don't want to do is use an electric toothbrush. That's a whole different category.
Why?
But
Can't trust them.
That's right. That's
What?
right.
This is shocking.
They just turned it into a regular toothbrush if they stop working.
35 years is shocking to me. I thought I only went decades, but I didn't go into the third one.
Well, live and learn. The others, they all learn from me. Plus, over a lifetime, you save $25 on toothbrushes by making them last that long.
Every penny counts.
Yeah, that's right. And the hygiene police, the moral hygiene police are going to get on me about this.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not a germaphobe. Okay? You want to go in the supermarket and do the handy wipe thing on the cart handle, go right ahead. I'm not going to judge you.
You lick it.
Don't judge me for not cleaning the cart handle.
Just grab it.
You got to eat a peck of dirt before you die. A
At
great
least.
woman once said that, and I believe it. I was raised with that standard, and it also applies to toothbrushes. I'm not policing here. I'm not saying you have to use a toothbrush for 35 years, but if you're able and willing, it's the way to go, man.
It's a lack of commitment in today's people, Greg. Like, people just can't stick with anything because
Right.
they're always looking for the next best thing, looking for something new.
Yeah, and they're lemmings. You grow up being taught that you have to change toothbrushes every several months, and so everybody's going over the same cliff. Buying, what am I going to get? Crest, Colgate? What am I going to do? And they do it. They're lemmings. They don't realize that you can use a toothbrush and make it last and last and last.
The whole thing about lemmings is made up.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
By Disney, of all people.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, they did a documentary about lemmings, and there was like, this documentary is boring. So it's like, what if we had them like commit suicide? And so they shoved them off a cliff, but they shot it reverse angle, and then they just lemmings apparently do mass suicides and stuff, and people just believe that for years.
That's a great fact.
Thank you.
Yeah. They learn something new every day, don't you? Just like that, and like being able to use a toothbrush for decades.
35 years.
I don't want to be the hygiene police, and I think I risk being the hygiene police. Learning that lemmings aren't actually lemmings, surprising enough for this and spectacular hour that we have made today. But for Donald Trump to go from that's not a red card to buying the World Cup being the second most shocking thing I've learned this hour because Greg Cody hasn't replaced a toothbrush in 35 years, that's a good hour. Because I am truly shocked at how disgusted I am right now by the idea of using a toothbrush for 35 years. This makes me the hygiene police, but I know the audience is with me on this. They're saying 35 years is too long to own one toothbrush. There's nobody in our audience that's had a toothbrush for 35 years except for Greg Cody. Not one person.
There's nothing cleaner on earth than my toothbrush.
It's not true.
I thought it was the inside of a FedEx envelope.
Well, that if you're going to put it over your head. But if you're going to use it to brush your teeth, every day it's cleaned with toothpaste and running water, and then it air dries. It's the cleanest thing on earth is my toothbrush.
Da-na-na-na. 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 Da-na-na-na.
The Adams Family.
Zaz, what was your reaction to seeing Dave Hyde say that he had been laid off by the Sun Sentinel?
I guess not surprised, but didn't like it. I think Dave Hyde's fantastic. He'd been really good to me over the years, and yeah, I guess it's disappointing, but not surprising, right?
Am I led to think that Greg Cody's secretly happy about Dave Hyde being laid off?
I reject the implication of my inner voice. And I was surprised, if we're being honest. Would not have been surprised had he just said, I'm retiring. Very surprised that the Sun Sentinel had the audacity to lay him off. That to me was surprising.
Is it true, Greg? There's a rumor going around. I don't know all the context, but there's a rumor going around that when someone arrived here this morning, they saw you in this room by yourself on the phone, and you said, "We won."
I cannot confirm that. No, I cannot confirm that at all. I've got, I have nothing to do with that. So,
we had plenty to do with it.
What's going on here?
The last cowboy standing.
All right. Yeah, I am the last cowboy standing, although I'm sitting right now.
Cuddled up next to our wife.
I should be on a horse.
Gave her a nice spoon from the back. Said, honey, we won.
All right. Inner voice, you're fired. I want a new inner voice.
What am I, Dave Hyde?
Oh, God.
What a great day.
All right. This is going off the rails. I have nothing but respect for
Sun
Dave Hyde.
Sentinel, for having the courage.
Courage?
Yes.
Quite
the
the
courage to do the right thing. Honestly, it should have been done years ago. We could have called this race long ago. I'm the man. Did what needed to be done.
Okay. Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
all of it has bored Mike Ryan, so I'm going to try to lure him back with a baseball conversation that I think
with
will,
a baseball conversation
will get him. Yes, I know. I get it. I know that this is why you drifted off into the sea over there.
Fall camp opens in 2 weeks.
But Joshua Kuroda Graver for the Oakland Athletics, if they are still indeed, ouch is what he said, because he's got a ruptured testicle. He's on the injured list with a ruptured testicle. Tony, what did you just do?
No, I'm out on that. I don't like that. You wanted to draw us back in, so why don't I show a video of a guy's ball exploding?
Well, but it's because it's the worst injury in sports.
Yeah, but it's also like the third time I've seen one of these.
Okay. I'm also being told, that this guy got up, got a base hit with the ruptured testicle.
He's not wearing a cup?
This is a foul ball. You can still, dude. I mean, point-blank range.
Guys don't wear cups. Yeah. Catchers wear cups.
You can still get an injury with a cup on, though. At point-blank range like that? Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you said you've seen this
microplastics
3 times, Mike, and the thing that I feel like I have to correct you on, because I'm going to say that it was the 90s when I learned of some sort of Seattle Mariner catcher who got a foul tip and got an injury that I'd never heard of before, which is a fractured testicle, okay? So that's when I learned of the fractured testicle. I've never before heard of the ruptured testicle. This is a new phrase for me. He's on the injured list now. I was not aware that that was a thing. Are all of you aware that ruptured testicle is a thing, that you could go to the doctor and you're going to get the diagnosis, you've ruptured your testicle?
Honestly, it's the opposite. I didn't know you could fracture a testicle, because ruptured makes way more sense given the, the consistency of said testicle.
I think I'm with you.
If I ever rupture my testicle, I'd prefer to be told that it's fractured.
All right, so let's put this on the poll. Worst injury, well, just put on the poll first. Is there a worse injury in sports than the ruptured testicle? And also put on the poll, worst injury, fractured testicle or ruptured testicle?
I've got the answer here for the differences between rupture and fracture of the testicle. The rupture is when the tunica albuginea,
I'm sure you said that right,
the tough fibrous outer covering of the testicle, tears. This causes internal testicular tissues, semifurus tubulus, to squeeze out of the scrotum.
At least you tried.
Into the scrotum.
There's always a squeezing.
And then the fracture occurs when the testicular parenchyma, the internal...
Jessica's going to be in here with us in a second. I'm curious, any more details on the Kyle Shanahan thing? What is going to happen with this? It's fairly rare for a coach to be involved in a cover-up mystery sort of scenario where people don't quite believe what's happening, and there was an erroneous police report, and now he's volunteering the accident was my fault, and he says he was going 20 and a 25. And it's 40 stitches in the face, a concussion that takes him out of work, a broken nose, broken ribs, and a broken hand. Seems like it's more than 20 miles an hour. Is he trying to get in front of this story, or is he behind it?
It seems like when you tell too many details in a lie that it's starting to come around on you, and it's like, well, no, I wasn't on my phone. I was searching for my phone, and I was only going 20 miles an hour, and that's actually my fault. Now we start getting to the point where I'm like, dude, I don't believe anything
But it was my fault, but I was doing nothing illegal.
Yeah, okay.
It's my fault, but I wasn't committing the crime of having a phone that leads to that accident because I was distracted by my phone.
Can I ask what would be wrong if he said he was on his phone and just take the L?
Well, because I'm guessing it's criminal. I'm guessing
not going to jail for being on your phone.
I'm guessing it's criminally liable if there's a lawsuit of some sort, because not only did you wreck the woman's car with an accident that was your fault, but whatever her last 11 days have been because of whatever it is getting hit by the coach of the 49ers, if the 49ers don't want anyone knowing about what the accident is.
Now, I'm no Anajar and Levine, but it would seem to me that a rear-end collision, you're automatically at fault. There's nothing, whether you're on your phone or not, too bad. I've been rear-end collided, and I bought a house off that sucker, man.
What?
Yeah, man, I was in a rear-end collision at a red light, and it's and they tried to, settle for $500, and I got a lawyer, and I got a lot more than $500.
Cheap house.
That's some kind of revelation. Good for you.
Thank you.
How is that the second most shocking revelation in the last 5 minutes?
That's something.
What's number one, Johnny Infantino?
It's Greg Cody's toothbrush situation.
Oh, yeah.
Jessica, how do you feel about the idea of using a toothbrush? And hello, nice to see you. For 35 years.
That's pretty egregious. Yeah. Are the bristles still there? Have they not been ground down by your
He says
elite?
they're better than ever.
That's not true.
They're made to last. Bristles.
Tom Brady of bristles.
You know what? They probably do not make toothbrush bristles like
Bristle,
they used to.
Connecticut.
In that they probably used to be made out of wood or something.
Wood?
What material are your toothbrush bristles from?
This is
the
the same
80s?
material as anybody. What are they? What are toothbrush
Put it
bristles
on the
made
poll. Are bristles made to last? 35. If I told you, Jessica, do you believe?
I bristle at the idea they're not.
Zing.
Charles Zing.
Chuck Zing.
I want government name.
Skipper
Yeah.
Zinedine Zidane.
I want government name Charles Zing instead
Hold
of
on.
Chuck. Come on.
Hold on.
Charles Zing.
Hold on. Jessica, did you say Zinedine Zidane?
I did.
Ah, yeah. That's how to play the game right there. There you go. Well done.
You had the lob of Skipper Chuck right there for you, Tony, and you got the name and the joke wrong.
First off, it wasn't Skipper Chuck. The guy's name was Charles Zink.
Chuck.
What's Chuck derivative
It's Skipper Chuck, not Skipper Charles.
But Zink is not in the Skipper Chuck part.
You're defending this?
Yeah, absolutely. I said his government name.
The daisy chain, Dan, was me saying Zing. Then he said Charles Zing when he should have said Chuck Zing.
Yeah, but I went
Zinedine Zidane is excellent there.
Great job by Jess.
Yeah, that's the way to play it.
That's just good work. But if I told you, Jessica, do you believe, before this interaction, that there's any human being in your life who has owned a toothbrush for 35 years, do you believe you'd say yes to that?
Well, Greg Cody. I would say him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm proud of it.
You're proud that you've
Yes.
owned a toothbrush for 35
Yeah,
years. You're proud of it.
I am a living example of toothbrushes are made to last a lifetime. You can use a toothbrush for decades.
Are toothbrushes made to last a lifetime, Juju? Put that on the poll as well at Le Batard Show. We've got some bad drivers around here. Zaz, you wanted to say something?
Well, I was going to ask Greg, like, you're saying, your toothbrush is great. What's the cavity situation for you like?
My dentist, the great Charles Mandel, has told me that I will have my natural teeth my entire life.
That's not what I asked.
I lead the league in gums. I never have a cavity.
You've never had a cavity?
I'm not saying I've never
You did
had
just
a cavity.
you did just say that.
I lead the league in gums. I have beautiful
You said
teeth.
that too.
Okay.
Yes.
What can I tell you?
You're saying that your dentist would come on here. Chris, get his dentist on.
Well,
the line.
he's long retired, Chuck Mandel. I don't want to.
So you haven't been to the dentist in 40 years.
No, I have a new dentist.
And if we got him on here, he probably wouldn't stop talking for about an hour.
Well, he was
the league in gums.
I switched dentists because of how chatty my dad's dentist
I got to tell you something. That's something that these dentists, I don't understand what these dentists, I'll be in the dental chair and he's getting to work on me. Got all kinds of bullshit going on in my mouth. He can't stop asking me questions. How am I going to answer him?
Yeah.
I got all this shit in my mouth. Keeps asking me questions.
I agree. That's a good point.
How the he gonna do this here?
Can I get that sucky thing? I got too much liquid in my mouth.
And Mandel, by the way, was a huge Heat fan. So I could not have an appointment with him without him talking to me while I'm incapacitated about the Heat and handball. Big handball player. Talks about Abe Saperstein. He's an older guy. He was in his mid-80s, probably 90 now, because he's retired about 5 years. He used to go back to the old early NBA days. Abe Saperstein is a name he always used to mention. It was crazy. Jess, have you heard of Abe Saperstein?
I still don't know who Bernie Parmalee is, Greg.
Oh, that's true. You're right. Yeah. Mandel had a Hall of Fame beneath
That was
his
Chris
office.
talking privately in your ear. That wasn't on air.
Oh, okay.
He was just giving you a line to use about the dentist, Dr. Mandel.
Yeah, he had a Hall of Fame, a sports Hall of Fame underneath his dental office, and he and I became friends, not just client doctor. And so
that's weird.
Once he took me underneath to the Sports Hall of Fame, and what a treasure trove of memorabilia that guy had. It was amazing. I should have written a column about it. Now that I think about it. Anyway.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is it weird to be friends with your dentist? Also put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is there anything more annoying than a chatty dentist? Yes or no? But we've got some bad drivers around here, Jess, and I just want to get your thoughts on some etiquette around here because Zaz will not say thank you, point, or wave a hand to anyone who lets him in traffic. How much of a jerk does that make him? He doesn't say thank you.
Supreme jerk. You got to do the this. You just do this.
2 fingers up in the air, the little salute.
You just do a little nod, 2 fingers up.
Zaz and Chris Cody are often trying not to fall
Tony too.
Not to fall asleep.
You're pointing fingers at me for.
You admitted it.
Okay, not falling asleep on the way home. They're driving their cars and
Jesus Christ.
Afternoon drowsiness.
Yeah, thank you, Jessica. They're routinely coming close to falling asleep
Daily.
while driving home.
That's not good. Don't do that, guys.
Don't do what? Don't fall asleep? We haven't.
Grand jury star witness over here, Jonathan
He
Zaslow.
even pointed at me.
They have those things on the side of the road that wake you up, though, so you're good, though.
That's what they're there for, Jess.
No, the rumble strips?
Yeah,
No.
That's
No,
what they're
no.
called. We've been trying to figure out that name for 24 hours.
They're there in case you fall asleep. Gotta lay down those rumble strips.
This is going to be testimony in a court case in the next, 6 months, I predict.
Zaz is the star witness.
Don't admit this stuff out loud, you guys.
Yeah,
it's
you really
bad.
shouldn't.
And don't do it. But also don't admit it.
Mostly don't admit it.
I once was driving from L.A. to Phoenix in the middle of the night, and I was so sleepy. And it's the middle of the night. There's no cars. I was so sleepy, and I said, Amin, this is dangerous. You got to pull off. Next rest area, you got to pull off. So I pull off the next rest area. I park my car. I put the seat back. And
that feels dangerous, too,
watch
by
this,
the way.
Watch this. I fell asleep, and then I woke up thinking I was still driving.
What?
And I was like,
That's terrible.
because I saw a cactus in front of me, like, and then I realized, wait a second. Then here's the crazy
You thought
part.
you were driving with your seat in recline?
So then this is the crazy part. I said, wait a second. I don't remember parking. How did I get here? Did I fall on the side of the road and some good Samaritan drove me, parked me, and then got out?
Put you back in the driver's seat.
I had all these questions. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Did you have a blanket on you?
Let me understand a few things here. This is dangerous. Sleepy, I don't know that there's a place where it is more likely that you're going to get sleepy than the darkness of the desert if you have to drive for 5 miles, just nothing to see.
There's no lights. There's no street lights, nothing. It's just you and your headlights, whatever you see.
It seems to me the most dangerous, outside of like curly roads and mountains, it seems to me the most likely place to have danger because you're going to fall asleep. But you falling asleep and having the reverse of what would happen. You fall asleep and you think that you're still driving and that's how you crash and die. But for you to pull over, go to sleep, and then think you're still driving is the reverse of how that usually happens.
I was uncommonly responsible, and I think my body was like, nah, not a chance.
Tony
Dan-
is also a skipper. Tony is somebody who, if you skip in line, he expects you to let him skip in front of you, and in traffic.
What? How does that? I don't even understand.
It's really
If
simple.
you-
Yeah. So if I'm watching you, if you're skipping the line, I'm skipping you because you skipped the line.
Oh,
You
I
have
see.
a moral
So
obligation to let me skip.
you're on like a busy exit trying to get off, and you're skipping. I see. I mean, that's fair.
It's Miami.
I'm not really a skipper unless it's like an emergency, but if someone else is skipping, I'm skipping ahead of them.
But Jess, let me ask you a question because this happens to me a lot. I'm driving. My exit is like 2 miles up. But, they've got the sign. It's like, 10 west this way. And so all of these idiots get into the far right lane.
Idiots.
And they just stop. And so I go all the way down. And I'm like, you guys didn't have to start lining up here. If we just had regular traffic and merge gradually, this wouldn't be an issue. So I don't cut like that weird wedge thing. I don't do that.
Yeah.
But I will cut the line.
You find someone slipping.
Yeah, someone not paying attention or whatever. Am I in the wrong there?
No.
I don't think. don't think that's the worst offense. Falling asleep, definitely way worse. What Zaz and Chris are admitting to, being sleepy on I-95.
And Tony.
And Tony. Dan, driving straight is way sleepier than a curvy road in the mountains.
Great
or something
shout.
Like
Correct.
that.
Yes,
Driving
I
down
was
a
just
straight
thinking
road.
of danger. Yes, I was thinking that the most dangerous place to drive would be curvy road on a mountain, but the most dangerous place, or the place most likely to fall asleep, would be a desert at night.
Yeah, Sonora.
I would also say I-95 in the middle of the afternoon when the sun's beating down.
Zagacki.
In August. It's kind of like one of those things where you're almost relieved when the afternoon storm rolls in, because it does give you a little bit of relief. But when it's just the sun's just beating down on you in your car and you're driving home after a 5-hour day of yelling about LeBron going to the Sixers or something, like I could see why you'd be sleepy, but you need to work on that.
That might be the smartest joke in the history of this show.
Do not let me, better though to leave those things unstated, do not let me get out of here today without reporting some of these LeBron details that Dave McMenamin has. Moving on to other subject matter here, can you tell me why it is you guys were making fun of C.J. Stroud this morning? Like, what is the backstory on C.J. Stroud that all of you felt very comfortable delighting in making fun of somebody that until throwing 5 interceptions in a playoff game, I thought was pretty cool. Like, I thought was not somebody we were making fun of.
Yeah, he's had a bit of a transformation visually. Obviously, he had the dreads. He cut those off. And, you're usually used to stylish QBs and stylish ball players, and he came in with a just white tee and what looked like, I don't even think they're jean shorts.
I mean, he's walking like he's holding in a shit.
Bit of
basketball
bit of a duck walk with the feet pointing out.
Big basketball shorts from the
Nerd,
early
you
2000s.
just said, Greg Cody just said nerd, and I'm more concerned that he waddles like Chris Whittingham.
He looks like a nerd.
Bit of a saunter.
I'm not doing nerd, but what are you guys, Jessica? What are
Chris
your
Whittingham is.
What are your?
Chris
You are doing
Whittingham
nerd.
catching a straight.
No, Chris Whittingham. No, I was doing Chris Whittingham's lower body. I was not doing his upper body.
Oh my
Which was a compliment?
Dan.
Hey, yo.
Can you extrapolate what
Yes,
he,
that's
Chris
the way
walks
Chris.
in a
That's how he
certain
walks.
way?
That's how Chris Whittingham walks.
It's actually a great shout by Dan, but you are saying a bit nerdy though.
I'm not
But
saying.
it's so mean.
I'm not saying nerdy. I am saying not most athletic.
Awkward. He's saying awkward.
Not the
It's
most
an awkward
athletic.
Gait.
Yeah, bottom
Yeah.
heavy.
I didn't say bottom heavy.
Oh,
I did.
Jesus.
But
Built like a pear.
I did not say built like a
Oh my
pear.
God.
I didn't say bottom heavy. I did say waddle.
He's got a bit of a heavy shoe, it looks like.
Dude, I was thinking the same thing. He
Yeah,
looks like
that actually
cement
happens
feet,
to me
yeah.
sometimes. When I wear certain heavy like Air Maxes, they
big sole
cause
ones.
they cause my ankles to turn out when I walk sometimes, and I notice that I am walking like that because my feet are too heavy. That is the thing. I maybe that's all it is. Just heavy shoes.
Everything about his fit is 2005. The T-shirt, the shorts, the shoes, the backpack. That's why he looks like that. He looks awkward because he looks like a time traveler who's come to us from the past to let us know that, hey, it's not too late to change your ways. Wait a second, I got that wrong. Time travel goes the other. Nah, damn.
When you walk,
Dan, I think it's like the back in my day, there used to be like a time period where all the stars of the NFL would do these like big elaborate training camp entrances. And this one was just very mundane, and he is dressed very plainly. And I think people are saying that he is lacking aura. That's what I've heard.
Oh, so
about this.
he's got to be cool here. Where he's got to be dressing like Joe Burrow coming to camp, missing the playoffs 3 years in a row.
Exactly.
Well, that's a good point. I'm not saying that, but some people are saying that he is lacking aura. Sometimes lacking aura, sometimes you don't need to try hard to have aura, but I think he's not trying hard and also lacking
Dan, you know
aura.
about
That's
that
what
aura
they're saying.
farm?
Would he have aura right now if he'd thrown 5 touchdowns in the playoff against Drake May instead of 5 interceptions? Would he have aura walking in the same way? Like if is that what we're
Did they go to the Super Bowl or no?
just because of their defense though, not because
Okay, so they made it to the Super Bowl?
They made it to the Super Bowl, but just because of their defense.
Okay, yeah, he has aura.
He does get aura in that circumstance. Okay.
That's a good question. Does Sam Darnold have aura now?
No.
Really?
Then
No, he doesn't. It's ginger.
Super Bowl
I don't think he
champion.
might.
Ginger.
Can't have
Ginger.
aura with red hair.
Ginger.
Everybody knows that.
Ginger.
I disagree.
That's not nice to Chris.
What about Ginger from Gilligan's Island? She had aura.
Oh, she had aura.
Damn
The
right
movie
she did.
star.
movie star. They see how they say everyone else, the professor, but it's like when it gets to her, it's like the movie star. They let you know, like Ginger's got it going.
Damn right.
Mm-hmm.
And Marianne.
Little peppier, a little more effervescent champagne bottle opening, but the movie star. There's an undercurrent of want.
What was she
in
doing there? She couldn't afford a bigger boat than the minnow.
Where are you on top five TV theme songs of all time, Jessica? I felt like dated, musty, fossilized, cobwebbed. We weren't using any modern songs. I was embarrassed on behalf of our show, and then I proclaimed the theme song dead because I hadn't heard any in 25 years.
Should I give my top 5? I have a top 5 I can give you.
I would love that, yes. Any OLI?
We'll go with no for the time being.
All right.
But number 5,
The straight
we'll
stuff.
say, should I sing it?
Yes,
You guys
please.
will know what it is. If I sing the opening thing, you'll know what it
We'll
is.
sing
Ready?
along.
Woke up this morning.
Got myself a gun.
There you go.
Still 20 years old though.
That's technically 20th century. It started in the 90s, 1999.
It did, unfortunately, and Jessica, I appreciate this effort, but it sounded like a duck had been stepped on.
It's not bad.
That theme song just makes me want to pull into a driveway.
I always think of the
It makes
drums
me want to
first.
look at like the smokestacks in Newark, you know?
Jersey
Like when you're
Turnpike.
driving on the turnpike, yeah. Just like I'm like, yeah.
So wait, so that's funny because for me it makes me want to go outside and get the newspaper in a robe.
You'd look good doing that.
Dan,
by
I
the
bet
way.
you've done
Makes you
that.
want to have a panic attack.
I've never worn a robe.
Central theme.
You've never worn a robe.
Still have never worn a robe.
Still-
I'm going to a hotel
That's
this
an old
weekend.
man thing.
Maybe I'll do this weekend. I'm staying in a nice hotel this weekend. Maybe I'll wear a robe.
The robe is an old man thing?
It makes me think of Lehman's dad. Sometimes I go over to their apartment and he's just in a robe and I'm like, oh.
Didn't you wear a robe on this show a month
No.
ago?
Yeah, that was the first time I ever actually wore one, but I
You
wore it
wore a
over.
robe.
But I wore it over my clothes. Like that's not really wearing a
coward.
robe. You know, got to
You
wear it.
wore it like a coward.
Hold on, Lehman's dad just walks around in a robe.
Yeah, he's got a robe. We were at a store a couple weeks ago and Lehman saw it's like, one of those like white terry cloth robes that like Tony Soprano would wear. And Lehman was like, he like stopped and looked at it and I was like, nope. It was like that commercial where it's like you're turning into your parents. I was like, moving on, keep walking. You're not old enough to get the robe yet.
You saw it real time, the transition happening.
Yes, it's happening. It's happening and it's very frightening.
Is that a level of comfort that your potential father-in-law has here that he should not have? Like that's a level of intimacy. Like you do that with your family, but he's now welcoming you into his family. But that's a level of comfort that's right on the line. No.
Lehman's dad, he's got a very hard job. He's on his feet all day. And when he gets home, he just wants to chill. And I respect that. And I'm going into his home. And if he wants to chill and what he wants to chill in, that's fine. Sometimes I do avert my eyes in certain situations. I do not want Lehman to be chilling like that yet at this stage in his life, still in his 30s. But I respect the father-in-law for having his chill time in his comfortable apartment.
That's really nice of you, right up until I tell you that my father was in his underwear when my brother was bringing home women in his 20s, and my father thought that was okay. And I was like, that's not in any way okay for anyone involved here.
It's endearing.
Is it endearing?
Yeah, you walk in as my old man. He's in underwear. Be like, hell yeah, dude.
Tidy white?
Yeah, why not?
It depends. I don't know.
You don't
I
think
know about
that's
that.
too far?
Yeah, sure it is.
I think we're engaged now, so I think his dad's just like, yeah, well, here it is. I'm in my robe.
It's too late now.
Number 4.
Here's a very current reference, Dan. Agatha Christie's Poirot, the ITV series that aired from 1989 to 2013.
Look, Jessica, I love that show. I watched that show.
Wait, really?
I did, yes, I did. Short guy, black hair, mustache.
Yes.
Yeah. No, look, I've read all those
It's
Agatha
on
Christie
BritBox
books.
now.
And the show was incredible. It was very faithful to the books. But you gotta be out your goddamn mind if you think that's the number 4 theme song.
Listen, Amin, do you know what it sounds like off the top of your head?
No.
It slaps so hard. It may be played at my wedding. We'll put it that way. Okay, we'll
Wow.
move on to number
Get an
3.
invite?
Why didn't you sing it then?
Maybe.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right.
It's pretty good. I mean,
it is good. Okay,
That is
I
good.
take it back.
That's a
It's
wedding
pretty good.
song
Okay.
right there.
You're gonna love number 3, Downton Abbey, another ITV show.
Oh yeah,
Horrible list.
love that show.
What?
Can't think of the theme. Love the show.
Do 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 do.
You made me
God,
like
it's so
it.
good.
You
guys
made me
are...
like it. You made me like it. You made me like it based on just your recreation. Number 2.
Succession.
Oh,
that was a good one.
Yes.
That was a good one.
Yes.
That has to be the record for most different ways a theme song has ever been played in the history of a show by leaps and bounds, correct? Because they played it, I'm sure you can look it up on the internet, the number of different ways they played that same song, but it has to be over 50.
According to Zaslow, that doesn't count because that's not the theme song. Because we had
What
this
are you talking about?
We talk about that with Curb. It's like that's just a thing that they play. I'm like, that's the theme
There's a
song.
whole 2-minute intro with that song.
There's a 30-second intro with Curb.
You're nuts.
Bum 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 ba-da-da, ba-da, ba-da,
Great.
ba-da,
Yes.
ba-da,
Yeah, that's a good
ba-da, ba-da. What?
Okay,
That's
Dan,
30
you're gonna love
seconds
this
to you?
one.
Boom.
Number 1.
Ready? Okay, I'll sing it, Dan. I'll sing the first line and then you respond. Ready? Oh.
SpongeBob.
Who lives in a pineapple
Under the sea.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Absorbent and yellow and porous is he.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
If nautical nonsense be something you wish,
SpongeBob SquarePants.
then jump on the deck and flop like a fish.
SpongeBob
You
SquarePants.
getting the lyrics yet, Dan?
Dan, come on.
Dan, have you seen a second,
you,
a
Dan.
millisecond of SpongeBob SquarePants?
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Even Greg knows it.
I've never felt so alone.
I took my boys to see the SpongeBob movie like 10 years ago. I didn't know what the hell was going on.
New SpongeBob, not the same as old SpongeBob.
Put it on the poll
Just
at Le
just throwing
Batard
that out
Show. Is the new SpongeBob the same as the old SpongeBob? The ACC preseason polls have come out, and Jessica, I'm sure you're noticing everyone's talking about Notre Dame and everyone's talking about Miami. All of the people who are expert on the portal movements and know how it is that roster replenishment is happening throughout recruiting say that Miami is leaps and bounds above everyone else, and also it helps when you can just steal ACC champion Duke's quarterback and wide
That's
receiver.
My takeaway from the ACC preseason media poll, so Miami, as you can see, got 165 first place votes, which is, I think, very fair because I think they will definitely be the best team in the ACC. I think they were last year, but they obviously lost 2 ACC games and because of the tiebreakers couldn't play in the championship. However, Dan, there were also some pointing out, Stanford got a first place vote. That's kind of weird because Stanford football, their win total for the last 3 seasons has been under 5 games. So that's weird. So that kind of stood out. But I think what stood out to me more than one rogue vote for Stanford was 3 people, Dan. 3 people voted for Florida State to win the ACC. What is happening with the preseason ACC media poll? It just makes no sense. I kind of wish Mike were here. This is one thing.
So
we
wait, but you're talking about 4 votes here, 4 rogue votes. 1 on Stanford that's just believing in Andrew Luck can fix the program,
Yeah, right.
and 3 going to FSU because they haven't been paying any attention to what they should have been paying attention to over the last couple of years.
It's just very confusing. I mean, you could give me the SMU votes, even the Louisville and the Clemson votes. You could give that all to me. You could say, you know what, Miami, they might not win all their ACC games like they're supposed to, even though their schedule is not that hard this year. The Notre Dame game obviously doesn't count towards the ACC conference standings, which is a bonus. So maybe they don't win it, even though we think they'll be the best team. Maybe you can convince yourself of SMU, Louisville, or Clemson. Georgia Tech also got 2 votes. I'm not so sure about that one. But 3 votes for Florida State just kind of stands out of what are we doing here?
Dan, we have breaking news. The Atlanta Falcons are signing veteran quarterback Cooper Rush because Michael Penix Jr. is not going to be available for at least 4 weeks, but also Tua Tagovailoa is out because he's having a flare-up from a back injury.
This is amazing. The conversation you guys had the other day about who would be the starter. I was like, he's always hurt. Well, he's always hurt. And somehow they're both hurt. Amazing.
We're on the second day of training camp for the Falcons. Tua already out.
They do think he's gonna play though. I have, but you know, now that I say that out loud, what? Of course they're saying that. I mean, what are we doing here?
You really fell apart there, Jess. What happened?
I just thought about Tua and the Falcons, and I thought, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap up the season. Although, you know what? New head coach, Kevin Stefanski. Tommy Reese is there now, Dan. But yeah, Tua's health, that's a whole...
Don't try and talk yourself into it with a couple of
now.
coaches after we gave you the...
You got Tua and you got Michael Penix. Good luck.
You threw out a couple of lazy coaching names at us and said what? The Falcons are more interesting because what?
I decided it's not fair to say wrap up the season the first day of camp.
That is,
Maybe...
of course. Did you not hear what Zaz just said? Like both of their quarterbacks are hurt already.
All right, take their helmet out of the bucket of death. Let's just call it a wrap.
Jess, why did you send me a photo of a guy with a stick going through his chest?
What?
Oh my God, did you guys see this story about this hiker?
Yes, I saw it.
I don't know.
Okay, this man has a hiking pole going through his body, as you can see in this photo. He was hiking up a mountain in Montana and fell and was like, oh, I only see one of my hiking sticks on the ground. Where's the other one? And then he realized it had gone through his chest, through his back. Oh, that's a very graphic picture. There should be a warning.
He's very relaxed.
So turns out, Chris, this guy is works at a hospital. He's like a nurse. He knows how to treat traumatic wounds. And he was 10 miles up this mountain with his friends. And he was like, I'm pretty sure I didn't hit any internal organs. My lung is intact. I'm not bleeding. I don't want to pay for a $2,000 medical evacuation helicopter ride down to the bottom. So I'm just going to walk back and think that let's just kind of see what happens. So he hiked all the way back down a mountain with a pole sticking out of his chest and then went on an ambulance, or I think his friends drove him to the hospital and then got to the hospital and they finally removed it.
Hit it, Roy. Hiking stick. What are we doing here?
It's one of the more horrifying things I've ever seen. It kind of begs the question, like, how bad of an injury do you have to have where you can walk down a 10-mile hike but refuse the 2,000, I don't know if it's 2,000, I assume it's in the thousands, the helicopter ride. Like, this is kind of as bad as it gets, right? Like, you can't do worse than this.
If I'm impaled, you can charge me whatever you want to charge me to get me to the hospital immediately.
So this actually happened in Rambo 3. Something explodes, and he gets like this spike that goes through him, so he breaks it off, but it's still kind of inside him, the pieces are, so he's got to grab the other half of the stick and poke out the remnants, but then he's got this big hole, he's got to cauterize the wound, so what he does, this is quite ingenious, he gets some gunpowder, and he sprinkles it inside the hole, then lights it on fire, and you get flames coming from both sides, and you know what? Doesn't wince. He winces a little bit, but he doesn't make a noise.
Well, so this guy did wince a little bit. His friends were calling him a shish kebab on the way down, which I thought was funny. But here's another white guy's thing for you, Roy. They were going to camp overnight at a place called Froze to Death Plateau.
Oh, yeah, no, I go on high. I can tell.
Check out her weekly Notre Dame podcast, The Echoes.
This is not an echo chamber.
With Mike Golick Jr. Jessica, thank you. Appreciate the time. Nice seeing you.
Goodbye.
Tell Lehman to live his robe dreams.
Let your fiancé be free. Let him be an old man before he's an old man puttering around the house like C.J. Stroud in a bathrobe with the lower body
or
of
Whitty.
Chris Whittingham.
Not an insult.
Not an insult.
Looking for that invite.
Don't mean it as an insult. Much like Zaslow gets second-hand embarrassment, excuse me. Do you guys, there's only one thing that I react to in the movies. It's knives, it's blades. It's I get uncomfortable with what we just saw, where I'm seeing somebody impaled, and it makes me secondhand uncomfortable. That it's literally the only thing that happens in the movie, piercings that are meant to puncture.
Buddy, I know it's not your cup of tea, but don't ever start watching Game of Thrones then, because someone gets stabbed every episode.
Beheaded even.
You guys, am I the only one among us who has this particular ridiculous squeamishness? It's a silly squeamishness, I understand, but somebody gets shivved in a prison. Like there's a secondhand discomfort that I'm getting from those things. If they're graphic like this was, where a dude is punctured and walking around with a puncturing for miles, like I'm left physically uncomfortable by that.
There was a scene in Saving Private Ryan where the knife, there was a fight inside of an old building.
Yeah, in the tower.
Yeah, in the tower, and slowly, that knife went into him. It was like, oh man, that's gruesome.
But I'm the only one here. All of you are fine with it.
I'll meet you halfway, Dan. If I had to be attacked and either get shot or stabbed, I'm taking the shooting. I've always felt that way. I'm like, you know what? Just go ahead and shoot me. Don't stab me. Just go ahead and shoot me.
It's too intimate. Somebody stabs you, it's too intimate. First of all, it's hard to kill somebody by stabbing them. Like, you got to work at it.
Shit looks like it hurts.
It's too intimate.
Intimate? What a weird word to use.
You gonna
for
answer
a
that
stabbing.
text or what?
That's a fine.
Little ding on your phone there.
Do what now?
It did not ding.
Yeah, there you go, Greg. Because they just assumed it was you. They just want you to take the blame.
Thank you.
Why? Why are you just all pointing at Greg?
Thank you. Wasn't me.
I just heard your phone just made another sound.
I know, it did.
Was it
You're
as you, Shaggy, as you were?
Okay, my wife's calling me. Could be an emergency.
So
Take the call online.
Was
On
it-
air. Take it on.
Wasn't me. He just said as his phone continued to make.
I know. I'm bad. I'm red.
What?
I don't know.
Greg, you got to take this call. Your wife knows you're here. For her to call you, that's not an accident. That's not, hey, did you take out the chicken from the freezer?
Let me get to these LeBron details.
Dude, this is urgent. I'm not even doing a bit here, guys.
You want me to take the call?
Take the call. She's calling him twice, Dan. She knows where he's at. She won't call.
I can't take the call.
I
have a feeling I know why she's calling, so don't worry about it.
Why?
Because we're having an important delivery today, and she's probably calling me to say, hey, it's on the front porch now. Get home.
How much is the fine here? How much is the fine for Greg Cody denying that it wasn't me, and then his phone keeps making noises, and it is him, and he's Shaggy?
Wasn't me.
It wasn't me. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
It wasn't me. I was on the sofa. It wasn't me. I don't It wasn't me. Even catch me in the shower.
Not a theme song.
News story from Dave McMenamin on LeBron. One of the things that he's saying, among the surprising suitors along the way, the Celtics, LeBron's consistent nemesis throughout the years, expressed interest. Sources told ESPN the Clippers discussed a lucrative one-season contract worth north of $20 million that would have allowed him to stay at his home in California. And another detail, if LeBron fulfills his 2-year deal with Philadelphia, he will have played 25 years in the league, a full 10 more than Jordan. And Rich Paul told ESPN, I think Philadelphia is going to energize him. Maybe we got 2 seasons, maybe we get 4.
How about that from Rich?
Wow.
How about that from Rich? Maybe 4.
It's amazing, man. Like, back when I was, in the 90s, you're watching basketball. If a dude got to his early 30s, it's like, oh, his career's almost over.
Right.
You're 32. This is about to be the end of the line.
This is what's interesting to me about what's happening with the Rams. Like, everyone's assuming Stafford's just going to be the MVP again. When Stafford, kind of at this age, this is where they all, except Brady, go right into the toilet. Like, and no one's expecting that. No one sees that coming. No one suspects it. No one assumes it. Everyone thinks Stafford's just going to look like the MVP when at this age, all quarterbacks except Brady get bad.
And the start of last year, he thought about retirement because his back was so bad he wasn't practicing whatsoever, and then he had an MVP season.
You guys explained that one to me. The Rams are all in on an age at quarterback that usually gets you nuked, except for Tom Brady throughout the history of the sport.
I mean, he was still awesome last year, so they assume he's going to continue to be awesome until he's not.
I think the rules have changed. Brady, Lionel Messi, LeBron. I mean, we see so many examples now of
But
time
those
not
three,
mattering
we're
as
talking
much.
about like the all-time greatest at their sport.
Yeah.
You guys are willing to say all-time greatest are no longer outliers. It's the norm. It's going to be Diana Taurasi. It's going to be Serena Williams. All of these people are going to be able to play into their late 30s and early 40s. It's going to be it's normal. You can still be the greatest at 40.
Chuck Zink, born Charles Dwayne Zink.
Dwayne, like a black guy?
Yeah.
Do you like breathing hot neck on the neck of hot?
Wow. Are you turned on?
Do you like
dangling?
Breathing hot neck?
What's going on here?
Do you like
Sexy.
breathing hot neck?
You have been dry humped many, many times.
Intimate.
You have been dry humped many, many times.
A little pelvic thrust situation.
I like that.
Have you ever consoled a naked man before?
What does it feel like to get dry humped?
I saw pee-pee.
I've never consoled a naked man.
Breathing hot neck?
I've never consoled a naked man.
Many, many times.
I saw pee-pee.
People out there, stop sending me pictures of the hotel rooms with the chair, okay? Stop sending those to me.
I like that. I like that.
He was naked.
Intimate.
Dangling.
I would hold that thing really tight.
How would you do it?
What's going on here?
Do you like
Sexy.
breathing hot neck? Do you like breathing hot neck?
I've been dry humped.
You never know.
I've been dry humped.
Many, many times.
I've never consoled a naked man.
Have you ever consoled a naked man?
I've never consoled a naked man.
Many, many times.
You never know.
We've been going over these greatest TV show theme songs all day today. I mean, how do you not throw Fraggle Rock in there somewhere?
Dun 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 dun. Cast your shades away. Worries for another day. Let the music play. Down at Fraggle Rock.
Come on, you got Fraggle Rock, man.
Dude, I've been inundated by texts from people listening all over. People work here, people don't work here. Guys, like, I can't do every single theme song. Yes, okay, that's a great theme song. Cynthia's sending me, what about A Different World? Yes, Different World's a great one, too.
Okay. Let's bring
spoiler
Juju.
alert.
Let's bring Juju aboard here. Oh, it sounds like Juju. A little bit of his thunder was just stolen.
I didn't know you.
You know about that stolen
And
thunder?
I'm getting yelled at, and I'm getting screamed at. Sheesh.
Juju, as we all right, so then let's not waste any more time here, Juju. You have your own top 10 TV show theme songs. Let's get after it. Come on.
For sure. Different World. I almost made it through the whole show, so I'm scratching it off my list. OLI, A Different World. God damn it.
Sorry. Blame Cynthia.
OLI.
She texted me.
Oh, salute, my brother. OLI, Chips.
Yeah.
OLI, Family Ties. OLI, Saved by the Damn Bell.
Yes, been waiting for that. Yes.
I see Cynthia's been texting you, too.
I promise to God, somebody saying, get Amin out of here right now. Me and him got smoke right now. A penalty box. I'm just playing. I love you, brother. And last, OLI, Taxi.
Oh, yeah.
Taxi was. Oh, man, Taxi's a banger.
A tear will come from your eye if you listen to Taxi at the right time of the day. Number 10, Succession.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir, man. We already know what's going on. Number 9, because it's just a banger, and I done seen dance moves get put to it now. Law and Order.
Of course.
Dun 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 dun
dun. Number 8. Come on, man. Tribe Called Quest. The Wayans Brothers.
We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Da na na na. Give me a high five.
All right, cut and print. Beautiful, guys.
Oh, that was fire, Chris. That was hard. Number 7. Mo to the
E to the
Moesha. Number 6, another certified banger, man. Night Court. Oh. Yes, sir. Number 5, man, because it's still kicking. It's actually a current theme song from House of Dragon, the Game of Thrones.
Yes.
They added war drums now this season, right?
Yeah, more dramatic. Dum, 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 dum. Number 4, in a 90s kind of world, I'm glad I got my girls.
Keep your head up.
Single, man.
What? Keep your head up. That's right.
You got to fight with. Number 3, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yep.
Classic.
You know, timeless. I'm sick of it, but hey, respect where it's due. Number 2, and this is where I start keeping it real. Raising Canaan.
This is a big rich town.
Hey, nah, that's not that.
No,
That's from Power. That's the OG theme.
Hey, you know about Power?
I love Power.
promise
No
to
way.
God.
Come on now. You know about Ghost?
I am shocked right now.
I love Power.
I am shocked right now that Zaz loves Power.
I don't know why you're shocked.
I would like to ask Amin El Hassan to please go to the penalty box. Please, for the sake of God. I know Dan ain't here, but we got to have some kind of rules here. Please, my brother, can you go to the penalty box for us?
Fine.
Thank you, brother. Number 1, Power. Jesus.
It's a big rich town.
I mean, go.
He's here to spoil me.
I just come from the police.
Out.
Real quick before I go, I just want to say,
City lights. I'm gonna make it somehow.
we made the whole show, and I thought for sure Juju would have this, but Juju did not. Thank you for being a friend.
Dun, 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 dun,
Gather around the boat and back again.
2 Americas, Amin.
2 Americas.
I will tell you, big omission, and this is all of our faults. Martin, come on. Martin!
Another big
Second
omission.
one.
Peaky Blinders, the Red Right Hand. That theme song was a banger, too.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
The second version of Martin was a little better. Martin Badell, I'm the man. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, that's the third one.
2 Americas.
That's the third version. That's the third
All right, very good. Excellent job there, Juju.
For sure, man.
Juju, you have any flowers we can give out today?
Absolutely, brother. I absolutely happen to have a bouquet right here, man. These bouquet of flowers is for my brother, Jonathan Zaslow. He told y'all yesterday, Caitlin Clark, over 25 points. So I took heed. I took that home, and I took it to DraftKings.
Yep.
And my brother, you deserve these flowers as well as a little something from me on the back end.
Thanks. She
My
had
brother,
32
salute.
last night. She's on fire lately. 3 of her last 4 games, she's had big scoring games.
Greg also hit his yesterday. Marlins plus 1.5 runs.
Yes, I did. Sandy.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
there you go.
More flowers and more life to my
right.
brother G.
Thank you, Juju. Let's get to some polls for today. What do we got, Juju?
Is the Gilligan's Island theme song a top 10 theme song of all time? 63% of the audience says yes, it is.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Better theme song, People's Court or Gilligan's Island? 51% of the audience says Gilligan's Island. Name a third Gabor, I dare you. 76% of the audience says no. Also, I wanted to give this Joker of the Week out to Dan in his face because I didn't want to talk behind his back. But he's never here anymore for these, so I'm going to give him the Joker of the Week for that Tops LeBron situation. Brother, we don't like that.
Wow. Dan, Juju.
Oh, no, he's back.
Juju
He's
just
back.
called you out.
Exactly. Thank you. Accusing
call
LeBron of being in cahoots with Tops. You, sir, are the Joker of the week, damn near. Definitely of the day.
Big call out.
Didn't say that.
I'll wait till you scarf it down. Are bristles made to last? 80% of the audience says no, they are not.
I'm the Joker of the week when motherfucking Greg Cody has a toothbrush for 35 years. You, hygiene king, I'm the Joker of the week.
Yep, That's what the Joker of the week is for, man.
That's
I give it
legit.
to who deserves it.
35 years of toothbrush doesn't deserve it.
Nothing wrong with that.
That doesn't deserve it.
I'll make it right.
I don't know what the rules are anymore. Trump can just buy the World Cup, and Juju isn't offended by a toothbrush for 35 years.
Nope. You are a responsible journalist. People take heed to what you say, brother. Now they out there Googling Tops and seeing who in the CEO role. Nah, brother, it was all above board. If he would have came to Miami, same Tops deal.
Didn't say any of that.
Well, you're still the Joker of the week. I said that one. How about that? Is there anything worse than a chatty dentist? 70% of the audience says no, there is not. Is it weird to be friends with your dentist? 77% of the audience says yes, it is.
Tony, what
And
are you?
last
Nothing
poll.
wrong with that.
What are you waving your?
Nothing wrong with that. Dr. B is an incredible dentist. I love Dr. B. We talk sports all the time. He actually waits to finish doing stuff to then have me answer the question. He invited me over to barbecue at his house.
I think that's where friends. It's fine to be friendly with your dentist. I think the part that Zaz and everyone else is objecting to is you palling around with your dentist, like putting your arms around him and going clubbing with him.
I'll give him a big hug when I see him.
And last and most important poll, are toothbrushes made to last a lifetime? 97% of the audience says no, and those are your polls.
Juju, do you believe that you have a single friend or person or loved one in the universe, relative, anyone who's had a toothbrush for 35 years?
I consider my brother Greg Cody a friend, a relative, and all of the above. So, yes, I do.
The answer's no to my question, Juju. Thank you for being on with us. We appreciate it, sir.
Folks, listen up. This summer, whatever you're watching, baseball, golf, soccer, racing, DraftKings Sports has you covered. The DraftKings Sports app, now available in all 50 states, bringing the action straight to your fingertips wherever you are. One app, every market, so you're always in on the excitement at the speed of sports. New DraftKings customers sign up with code DAN, spend $5 and get $150 in rewards within 14 days. That's code DAN, includes all markets in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.